ISUPK, Trinidad and Tobago, under Commanding General Yahanna. We will be live on the streets, 91.9 FM.
One west to the death till they bury me.
Every Thursday from 7 p.m. Hosted by Officer Sawapya Allah and Officer Mathkoyak.
One west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me.
ISUPK under Commanding General Yahanna. Live every Thursday night from 7 p.m. on the streets, 91.9 FM.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to isupk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one west. They're one west. They're one west. They're
They need food, housing, clothing. They need counseling. They need understanding of what's happened to them. They need an identity. They need to know the truth about the Lord. They need to be woke up to who the devil is. That's the white man. That's what the hell they need. And you add that to black people, Latinos, and Indians, brother, then you're going to be able to do something. The whole reason I'm in here saying these things to you, because these things are supposed to show you and give you hope. It's supposed to make you say to yourself, you know what, we got a kingdom coming. You know what, the Lord's judgment is coming. You know what, let's change our life.
One West, nigga. Dear hater, you for real hater? Must not be on like you say, must not be getting no real paper. Nigga can't have more than you, you know them niggas will still hate you. Those are characteristics in a pussy nigga nature. Talk that shit behind my back, but be on mute when it's a facial. Smiling in my face, but you can't hide all of that hatred. I'm too silent, you a snake. I see that shit a mile away. Man of war, and I'm not sorry, blame that shit on UPK. Pussy ass nigga, you a pussy ass nigga. Oh, you confused, you think pussy ass nigga. This ain't drag racing, why you got that drag with you? I'm a bad getter, pull up with two bad bitches. Masculinity be the reason she into me. She say she loving Lost Tribe.
They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So you said that they put millions of my people.
Should a murderer go to jail for murdering?
Absolutely.
Should a thief go to jail when he steals?
Absolutely.
Should a robber pay back the money he robbed?
Absolutely.
So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did?
That's right. That's right.
You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacles set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never our home, only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe this slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting, the trail of my tears is countless. Main fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Crack in the sky, nuclear missiles will make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be, slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cage and safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash, get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a
Look, ain't no remorse in my blood, Slim. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember Yahanna's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in this body, you fit the Lord, fuck the cartel. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is served cold, I just hope they make an oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in a world of mad shooters. There was design 5 for our babies to pass through. In the day of our king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
Someday you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
Just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber, you go and do something like this. And totally redeem yourself!
Ice raids crazy. Ice raids crazy. You've seen them ice raids lately. Ice raids crazy. They kidnap men and the ladies. Ice raids crazy. And separate them from they babies. Ice raids crazy.
Ice raids crazy, tearing up dreams in the night, kicking down doors, flashing light, causing fright. Mama in the kitchen, baby crying in her arms. Agents storm in, yeah, they sounding their alarm. Who the real criminal when they snatching up the meek? Chains on the innocent, silence on the weak. They call it law, but I call it co-abduction. Ripping souls apart, yeah, that's government corruption. Land of the free, man, that's a contradiction. Cause freedom got conditions in this twisted jurisdiction. White man came, took the land, drew borderlines. Now they calling Mexicans illegal, that's another crime. Ice raids crazy, kidnapping in broad daylight. Separating families, that's wrong, it ain't right. Tears on the pavement, kids with no translation. America preach love, but they practice damnation. False news paint black and brown faces as a threat. But we the hardest workers, bleed sweat, living in debt. Building skyscrapers, mowing lawns and serving plates. The same ones they hate keep America great. It's hypocrisy with badges, patriot disguise. Call it national security, but it's genocide. Stolen land, stolen lives, stolen pride. The truth don't hide, it bleeds from the inside.
Ice raids crazy. Ice raids crazy. You've seen them ice raids lately. Ice raids crazy. They kidnap men and the ladies. Ice raids crazy. And separate them from they babies. Ice raids crazy.
Ice raids crazy, propaganda so sick. Fox News talking lies, playing politics. They say protect the border, but they guarding the coast. From Tijuana to Texas, it's stolen land coast to coast. You can't deport the people from their native land when your racist flag flew in with a bloody hand. Cages and babies, what kind of nation is that? The cries echo loud, but they turning their backs. If the law is unjust, then justice ain't lawful. A badge on your chest don't make you Godful. They label them illegal, man, that word is obscene. Remember the first these were wigs and they called it the American dream. Ice raids crazy, it's a modern day lynch. History repeats, America don't flinch. Ripping roots from the ground, they call it immigration. It's really reincarnation of colonization. They say we all human, same blood, same beat, but they judge by the border and the color of your feet. No heart, no mercy, no ounce of grace. Just politics of fear in a racist face. From Rio Grande to the California coast, they hunting my people, good people, ghost of the ghost. Black and brown unity, we all grew up. If you don't like it, take your dog ass back to Europe.
Ice raids crazy. Ice raids crazy. You've seen them ice raids lately. Ice raids crazy. They kidnap men and the ladies. Ice raids crazy. And separate them from they babies. Ice raids crazy. Ice raids crazy. Ice raids crazy. You've seen them ice raids lately. Ice raids crazy. They kidnap men and the ladies. Ice raids crazy. And separate them from they babies. Ice raids crazy. Ice raids crazy.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to isubk.com and pay your tithe drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one west. They're one west. They're one west. They're
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man, if you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to isubk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one west. They're one west. They're one west. They're
Wagwan priest, you good? What's going on? Listen, man, I'm hearing you, man, you ISUPK brothers be talking about the Jacobites that was in Scotland were originally black. You man ain't reaching that.
Listen, put that on the TV right there. You'll see it. This is the transportations. If you look right there, it will let you know Robert Adam, brown, William Bow, black, Dogo Campbell, brown complexion, black, brown. I see brown, black, brown, black, brown. This is all the Jacobites that was shipped out of places like Ireland and so forth. This is the transportations.
Right.
So this is giving you the complexion of the Jacobites that was shipped out of these places to Barbados and other islands in the West Indies.
Yo, that's mad. So it's saying what? Robert Adams was a labourer and he was what? Brown faced. William Bell was what? Black, curled hair. Damn. That's deep, man.
Which means what as well? Which also means black people was in Europe. Why? Because they ruled the Dark Ages. So that's why they was in Europe.
You man are cold at history, man. All right, man. Shalom.
Something to eat.
I got some change for you. Go on real quick.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man, if you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to isubk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one west. They're one west. They're one west. They're
all of my niggas. That shit ain't gon' stop till we on top and we ballin', my nigga. We be fly as fuck, you know them bitches be stalking my niggas. That shit'll never change and it's the same with all my niggas. City to city, I should be at home. That's what my ribs say. But bitch, I'm grown. I'm in these streets and closed caption. Niggas know we bout that action. If a nigga play with me, then my Hakim gon' let him have it. Hey, think you the shit, this truth the shit. Nigga play, I let that Ruger hit. Get on them tracks, they be like, who is this? I'm rude with it. Ain't got no manners. All them pussy niggas talking shit. Yeah, I know they can't stand us, but we UPK Louisiana, bitch, that's what I'm rippin'. And my niggas solid number, real ones in my section. If you wanna get down, put your boots on, start stepping. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood. I lay my life down right now for all my sisters and brothers, because I love them. I see them dapping and hug them. It's amazing to see how well we adapt from the struggle. Born again from a life of sin, trapped in the gutter. My mind frame was to kill my own kind. Feeling inferior, waking up ready to die. Run with them killers, so it's just a matter of time. For why take your life or let you take mine? That's when I realized the slaves killing slaves while the white man live to get old. We in them graves, and shit got me feeling plain. I opened the Bible, went through them records, found out we was royalty, a nation to be respected. But in this world we rejected, we hated for our complexion. Still fighting to get accepted. We hear the truth and reject it, but love is getting corrected. And all my niggas correct me. The commandments, the foundation we erected. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. Hey, hey. Hey, hey.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to isupk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one West. They're
I'm shy to all the sisters listening on too. You don't know how we do it back every Wednesday, doing the damn thing. We ain't taking over Greenland. But we gonna take over the world. You know what I mean? We're back with the usual suspect. Big up Commander Yahanna, hardest working man in Israel.
That's right.
Pay your tithes because that Passover is coming. Pay your Passover fee as well. Get that Passover fee all the way in. Don't hesitate. Don't, you know what I mean? Don't neglect to do your thing with Passover, all right? Pay your Passover fee. Get that thing rocking and rolling. $200 for every adult 17 years and over. Let's get it in. You know what I mean? So what we dealing with tonight, man? What we dealing with tonight?
Drewski.
Yeah.
Got red bottoms because I'm walking the blood of Jesus. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I hear them Christians is mad.
Yeah, I don't understand. He was on point. That last part, when the old brother run up to the car, and I was like,
yeah,
I need help. And just as like, you pay tithes, get your effing hands off.
Get the fuck off my car. Get the fuck off my car. Don't talk about fucking car.
They crazy.
Listen, the only thing Drewski didn't do was talk about how much he was swallowed up. If he did that, should have. If Drewski got up there and say, "Have you ever been swallowed?" Swallowed.
Yeah.
But he might save that for the IUIC because I hear they're circumcising and swallowing and circumcising and swallowing some more. I hear it's bad up in that zone there. I really want to know, how do they know who is circumcised and who's not? I want to know if they ask Christian, if you know, it's just like your yea be yea and your nay be nay. You know, I want to know.
Right. Yes. So like I said,
go ahead.
That is a very good question, and especially as you see, like on the streets now, you know, anytime they come up to you, no, that is a question to pose because you tell them brothers that are circumcised.
Yeah, you tell them that they're circumcised. So now, if that's the case, you know, if you gotta ask them all, are you all circumcised? Who's the leader out here? Okay, how do you know these men are circumcised? Make him answer that.
Right.
If I could, sir.
Go ahead,
sir. That might be explain. Remember years ago that depict is without circling. That might explain that.
That might explain what it is. His brother had to send his members. He had to send his whole members to him and make sure he knows exactly what it is. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, but we have more serious things at hand than worrying about what's in some man's members. You know, the IURC, they ain't doing no work really, so they can't really hold a candle to it. You can fix that junk right there from that.
It's like it too, if I may, sir.
Yeah.
And okay, you Christians that's mad because he's talking about how these pastors love money. You better hope and pray that he doesn't do a skit about the kids that these pastors love. That's what I'm waiting to see. I'm waiting to see a skit about how he's staring at some little boy or little girl while he preaching. Like, you know, that one would hit a little too close to home because that is every time I turn around, I'm seeing a picture of some white pastor or some black pastor. Is anybody that's a pastor or in church, they molesting children and getting arrested for molesting children. And so with you Christians, there's a lot more things you could be angry for. And the UPK, we're gonna make it our business. I know for sure. Child molestation, I noticed in the Black and Hispanic community, it's certain things that I notice make our people very uncomfortable and shy away from it. And I've always, since I was a kid, I always been a kid that the thing that we can't say, I'm going to say it. That's just always been my personality as a kid. Like, hold on, why everybody get quiet about this? Hold on, I'm saying it. So me realizing that about our people, we too much shy away from talking about how rampant child molestation and incest is within our community, within our families. And you Christian pastors are the chief perpetrators of this child molestation. And for Drewski, you know, he would do his big one if he would really set it off, if he would have make a skit about that, because then now you're gonna start to hear this. I'm reading the comments of his skit, and people is confessing about how I needed help and the church didn't do anything for me. Like, I'm reading the horror stories of the bad experiences our people have experienced in the church. And I'm like, yeah, see, this is why they're angry, because this is the truth. This is the truth. Like, you wouldn't get angry at it if it didn't have any merit to it. It's just like, oh, this nigga clowning, you know, he a simple clown. But that right there, what Juicy did, is too close to home. And for sure, you Christians, man, listen, the UPK, we're gonna bring it out. I ain't gonna wait on Drewski to do it. We're gonna just tell the truth about what's going on.
I think so. I think if that wasn't Drewski who did it, if that was some no-name guy, you would have thought that was another preacher. If it was not Drewski, if it was just somebody, you would have sure thought, okay, this definitely is just who's this new preacher? What's his name? Where is he from? But because it's Drewski, the mocking is pissing them the fuck off. But he really conducted a sermon. If Drewski opened a church, he'd be the richest pastor.
Yeah.
If Drewski opened a church this weekend, he'll be the richest pastor. Creflo, TD Jakes, they ain't gonna be able to touch him.
No.
You know what I mean?
And if I could, I damn near. Oh yeah, I was gonna say I damn near got into a damn near argument with my rib last night because I started. She was telling me how much that stuff really cost. She said I'm looking at the Dior. She's like, yeah, the Dior jacket that's about $4,000 by itself.
Damn.
Then she telling me about the shoes.
Get the fuck over here.
So we look it up. Yeah, we are looking it up. She's saying the shoes that's a couple thousand, 2, 3, 4, 5,000. So then I started asking. Somehow I went on to another pastor. We talking, and I said, "This pastor, he got a big church, but it's not no mega church." I said, "I wonder how much his suits cost." They're not the Christian Dior, but I'm sure they cost. She like, yeah, they gonna cost a suit like that's gonna be $2,000 to $4,000. So I thought about it. I said, he gonna have at least 5 or 6 of those suits. You're talking $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 worth of suits. And then I said, well, how much his watch probably cost? I'm sure he ain't walking around with no bummy watch. Let's say he spent $2,000, $3,000 on a watch. He gonna have more than one. He might have one for every other day. So he got 4 or 5 watches in his collection. That's $15,000 worth of watches. And $100,000 car, of course, multiple cars, because she said this is a pastor she knew. So so she like, yeah, he got a nice SUV, the SUV truck. I'm like, that's $100,000. And then she said they started in a smaller church and got a big one made when he made a building fund.
That's
so
crazy.
I said, how much the building probably cost to get one built from the foundation up? I'm like, that's at least a couple million. To get a house built from the ground up is damn near, a big house, like a big mansion style, is damn near going to come up to hundreds of thousands, let alone a church that can fit hundreds of people. So, and that's just one local little pastor. So it just made me think about all the money that's going through these pastors' hands, because that's one local church, but every city got like 200 churches. So you got each one of those pastors, going through thousands and tens of thousands of dollars of clothes and jewelry. No wonder the black community is destroyed. If they were to take a portion of that money and reinvest it into the community, create jobs, create hospitals, create our own police force, create any fucking thing, we'd be better off.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's a lot of money in this stuff that in these pastors is running through.
Yeah. And that's a heavy point too. Because the problem with that being is Esau will not allow them pastors to do that with that money. To go and help the black community, to go raise them up. Hell no. You understand? Esau you think Esau can't stop them, ain't seeing the oppressor, ain't seeing them wasting money,
right?
And all these things. They're seeing it. You understand? But these pastors, they're so damn greedy. They're just, they're just about themselves. The Bible call them harlings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They like the Bible ain't lying when they call them harlings. You understand? Because that's all they're about, the money. They know from the time they take that money and start to reinvest it in the black community. Remember what they do to them basketball players. They tell them basketball players they can't go back and deal with their people in the hood. You know what I mean? Write that in the contract. You understand? Like Esau know what he's doing when he knows your leader is taking this money to do what? To turn his back on your problems. Your pastor taking that money, getting paid to turn his back on your problem. Your issues are not his issues. Your issues is Esau issues.
Right.
And your issues, but not his issues. Them suits is just because black people, they know black people. When we see nice, shiny things, we think, what? Oh, the Lord had to be with this man.
Right.
You know what I mean? The Lord had to be with him. You know what I mean? He looking, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Everything looking good. You know what I mean? Like they know what the hell they're doing. The psychology behind it, they know what they're doing. You know what I mean? A black man don't just get rich and just pawn any plain clothes like Esau. You understand? Esau, you know what I mean, would be a billionaire. And you know what I mean, you would know. But brother who is a billionaire, oh, you gonna know he a billionaire. You gonna know he making it. So I yield.
And if I may too. Oh, go ahead, Captain.
No, go ahead. I got you after.
So now, just to attest to what Captain Kaposh said, my mother married a bishop. She married a pastor.
Man.
And so I grew up. He was a small, like his size as a man. Like he wasn't a large brother. So by the time I got to about 8th grade, I was the same size as him. And he would give me his hand-me-down clothes. And so I'll be going to school wearing his clothes and not realizing what I got on. And it wasn't until a teacher said, "Well, you got on Neiman Marcus." And I didn't grow up knowing what any of that was. And I'm just like, it's a sweater. It's just a sweater. She said, "No, that is Neiman Marcus." And then ever since then, I realized I was going to school in straight designer clothes because this pastor, his hand-me-downs, everything that he bought was designer. And so by the time I got to high school and started to learn a little bit, I was flexing off of that. I was like, nigga, you think this a Cosby sweater? Nigga, this sweater is $1,000, nigga. But
you showing them the cuff. You like, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And right. No, but it's crazy how the people that recognized it was black Christian women. It was always like I would get clowned how I dressed because they were older man clothes. So it was like I didn't dress how the other kids was dressing.
Right.
And it was always the black women that were the church. They see me and they'd be like, "Oh," it's like, "Oh, look at him." Like, damn. And it was like, I'm wearing this pastor nigga clothes, all this rich gay clothing. You understand?
The women know, man. The women
be
knowing
all the money. Oh, go ahead, Cap.
So, like, I was just making a quick comment. The women be knowing the prices on this stuff.
Yep.
Because a little bit again, you'd have had them turning tricks in the damn auditorium behind the bleachers. Now look at here. Bring down off of a right. It's so disgusting in the Christian church. Right? I was looking for this video in the meantime as you all was talking. I know you all remember this guy.
Yep, that's exactly what I was thinking of in the deposition.
Yes. And he started to talk about why he needs certain shirts, and it was so horrible. I want to play a little bit of it to show people Drewski ain't wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Bye.
Good night.
You have that as an asset of $2,844,500. So do you own it?
No, this is a deposition or discovery, I believe, what they call it. One of them two. Where because he's being investigated for fraud and embezzlement and all that shit. So he had to go on there and they had to ask him these questions. And you should hear this lust-filled bastard defend spending black people's money.
I just answered that, didn't I? I said we didn't own it.
Okay, but where does I'm sorry?
We're leasing to buy it. Did you? I thought we just said that.
All right, but you have listed it as an asset worth $2,844,000.
Oh, that should be more of a liability.
All right, so where does the number $2,844,000 come from on your asset and liability?
That's, I guess, the appraisal value of the home or the residential center.
Is it a home?
No, it's a residential center. We use it.
All right, so you're saying it's not something you own, but you have it listed as an asset.
He's so lustful. He said we're leasing to buy. Didn't I just tell you that? old sassy old sodomite. He's so lustful. He wants to show them how rich he is, so he put it down as an asset, knowing he rented. But he want to show it so much. He put it down. He say, "Oh, well, that should be more of a liability because they pay in this and pay in that." And that ain't no residential center, man. That is the home of the freak off. He was right when he said it's a home. Because that's what he goes to get, them blows. That's what he goes for. When he going, I guarantee Nate have one of those to inspect the circumcision. It's the inspection center. That's what that
of $2.8 million.
That's probably a mistake. Like I say, it probably should be a liability.
Okay, and what goes on at the residential center?
It is really it's a gathering place for our ministry where I bring in different leaders and also the staff that we have as a place of, maybe resort and teaching and training.
Resort?
Yeah, teaching. A resort where we teach and train.
Wow.
On November 29th, 2013, JMMI paid.
Listen, just before we continue with this one, Cap, you think that spread is ridiculous, Act? Next time you're free, Act, we had a ride out in Maryland, right opposite Six Flags, and see Betty People's Church, Act. I think I filmed the thing. Sometime I was out there in Maryland coming back, and I took that route. And brother, I drove past this thing and I could not believe what it was. I had to make a U-turn and go and drive inside. And I drove around and filmed this. You should see my black ass like a tourist. I have never seen a spread like that.
Good night.
You had to see this fucking church out. You had to see this. I think there's another one who she's the one who she has her own exit off the highway. The church so goddamn big. You know, like you take an exit to go, you take exit 34 to go to a certain county or city. This exit to the church arc. Brother, these Christians is making, ridiculous money, nasty money.
Over $6,000 to Louis Vuitton.
Yes.
What would that be for?
Well, this is for clothes concerning my TV ministry as well.
So you have to wear Louis Vuitton?
Oh, it don't matter what name it is. The point is clothing are allocated to us for ministry purposes as well.
What do you mean they're allocated to you?
In a media ministry.
In a what?
Media ministry.
Yeah.
Okay, or on the road when I'm always traveling and using my clothes, I'm sweating through them. So I'm needing new clothes also for television ministry for the years. So
And so you use ministry money.
Listen, and they're so conniving. Like his explanation makes sense to him. That's why she say, for what? He's like, media ministry. Like, what the fuck is that? Is this media ministry? We do this, and my clothes, I sweat through them and something. And that makes sense to him so much he could say this shit out loud.
Right.
He's so lust-filled, Doc. Go ahead, because I know you're jumping in. Come on,
Yeah, no, so like I said, what you're saying is so heavy. It makes sense to him because it works to the congregation. Like our Christians, they add the word ministry on the end of anything, and it's legit. Like I wouldn't be surprised in IUIC if they got a circumcision ministry. Some deacon in there is inspecting rods. It's legit. It's legit. It's the circumcision deacon such and such is over the circumcision ministry, and he's he makes sure all the circumcisions is in order and everything. Like you Christians think adding ministry to the end of a word make it legit. Like you're right. You're nasty and you're lust. Like Cap said, you're lust filled. You're a nasty piece of filth. That's what you are.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah, and again, just like when, as we say in all our intro now, Acts 19, when the man say he say Christ I know, Paul I know, who is you? It is like they with actually, yeah, like you come to a real man and you ask him, hey, you circumcised? And he say, well, wait, say? And there's a one stamp in your face, Sister like one stamp to face. one stamp to face is like you that what kind of Macomb man thing you're talking about?
Yeah,
yeah.
You so right, it's only a certain people will be comfortable enough with that situation. Only a certain people will be comfortable. Go ahead.
So like I said, if I could, right? Trump is down there in Minnesota, checking them Somalians over fraud. He needs to be in the church.
Yep,
that's where they need to be, right in the church, checking for fraud. They'll find a ton of fraud happening right in the church because this guy here, you can look at him and tell he's scheming. I mean, these be the same people from the hood. Before he was a pastor, he was boosting clothes. That's the type.
Okay, listen, Warrior, I just had to disagree with you there. I think his type is not that type because that type still needs some courage or some masculinity to do that thing.
Right.
His type is he never had the courage to do anything but the slimiest thing he could do.
Right.
Like whatever was the slimiest low down thing he could do on that day, he would just do it up. Like this, first off, he's a sodomite, so you know he's doing horrible shit up. You understand? That hairstyle he got there with the chin strap looking like what the fuck? Like there's a psychology going on there. He done left reality. This is not a real person you're dealing with no more. And because he's lustful, he surrounds himself with lustful people. I'll just pay for it. Louis Vuitton this, red bottom that. You know, it's a resort. The broad say a resort. What is he talking about? Because these oppressors know this 501c3 is meant to do what Commander John Yahanna does with the money, which is
that's it.
House people,
Yes.
old people. Big up Trinidad again. I'll give you all a hand up. Yo went down there and helped that brother out, and I'm sure he wasn't expecting that response from you all. At all, because y'all look way more scary than them purple faggots. But say let him still ask. And we doing this thing with next to nothing, with little. This motherfucker have a $6,000 clothing bill. $6,000 clothing bill. I scraped together a couple $100 and try to come up with the baddest garment for Passover. He got a $6,000 budget. I'm going through the thrift. I'm on the thrift store trying to find that leather to rip off a trench coat. I go and take all them women's bag out of them thrift store, them leather ones, to make a garment out of that shit. Rip the leather up and cut it up and sew it back together. This sodomite got a $6,000 budget just for one media ministry. Media ministry. But you mad at Drewski.
Yeah,
Drewski got your number.
Yeah.
If I could, sir.
Well, go ahead,
You know what you're saying so heavy, and as you're talking, I'm thinking about it, and you're saying talking about his masculinity. You know, I'm realizing as only a woman spends like that. Only a woman can justify any type of money on clothing. No man is gonna spend that type of money so loosely, like $500, $600, $700, $800, thousands of dollars on shoes. Ain't no man gonna do that. I mean, so you're definitely 100% right on that, sir. That's definitely the spirit of a sodomite. Like Commander John Hyman said one time, and it stuck with me. He said that a homosexual is somebody who takes all the worst characteristics of a woman. I mean, and has none of the nurturing, none of the compassion, they just take all the worst characteristics. And that's what he does. So that's why when he starts to spend that tithe money, sir, it's like, you know, there's nothing holding him back, you know?
No. And that's why as he explains it, to anybody listening, they would be able to identify with the voice inflection that the investigator is asking. A resort? Louis Vuitton? But to him, it's like, well, what the fuck is this bitch talking about? I need clothes because I sweat. I need a resort because it's lust. He don't get it. He don't get it. Let me do a little bit more before we move on to
Right.
Iran.
To buy your wardrobe
outfit.
Your
It's
outfit.
called.
If
It's
I could-
allocated towards.
Go ahead, Kapash. Kapash, go ahead. You could hear me?
I was just gonna say, Esther was wearing. It says AI says it's between $3,100 or $4,500 for that a pattern.
Say that one more time.
Did you hear that?
Okay,
The,
Kapash, I
the
think
jacket
you
that Drewski was wearing that was off of a real pastor. Yeah.
Okay, so okay,
Jammed up.
Kapash, I think you listen. You
Can you
know,
hear
I
me
think
now?
you're listening to the YouTube broadcast. Are you on the StreamYard listening? Because you have a delay.
I'm on the StreamYard, but it start getting choppy once I start talking. So I'll probably chill out.
I
Let me
got
see
you.
if it maybe close this tab.
Yeah, you may have to close.
What about
up. Maybe
now? Is it
sometimes
better?
happens with computers. I don't know how. Are you hearing me in real time, or it seems like a delay?
Okay. You right now? I hear you right now. I'm hearing you good.
It's a delay. It's at least a 3 or 4 second
But it
delay.
seems like it's a delay. Yeah.
Yeah, you might have to close out and come back in, close up some of your tabs on there. Yeah, but go ahead, make your point though before you go. Oh shit, that delay is good, man.
He was saying the suit that Drewski have on was about $4,000 or something like that. He said AI. He used AI.
And that's how he found it out.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because on Drink Champs, this fool Akon, he came up there in a suit, and it was fake Dior. And they asked him, you know, what's with it, and he's like, it's a new brand. And it's called Drill. And then later on in the interview, he said, I ain't wearing no fucking Dior. I ain't paying all that money. I'll make my own brand and make that big. You understand? So he wear the bootleg thing, and because he was a celebrity, people thought this was some new brand.
Yeah.
You understand? But with a pastor like this here, this nigga, he don't give a damn.
He like the remember that scripture where it talk about where it speaks about them not wanting to dig, like they don't want to work hard. Like you can clearly see he's not one of them. He ain't gonna, you know what I mean? He's not working harder.
No, for what?
Like this is his, you know, bread and butter right here. He in.
No,
You know what I
what
mean?
you gotta work hard for? He had to keep them hands gentle and soft for Nate. He had to keep them inspection hands good and soft.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Let me get some more of him in.
Does that go into what your income is?
I'm sorry.
Do you show that in your income that you got Louis Vuitton clothing?
No, that's not. That
doesn't show
because it don't go there.
It don't go there. I don't know
No.
what that means.
It don't belong there. That's out of place.
What's out of place?
You don't get taxed on things like that. That's for ministry business purpose. So it's not.
Louis Vuitton.
Well, you can call whatever you want.
So June 2014, you spent $3,500 by JMMI to Versace in the Bahamas. Yes?
I'm sure that's right. If it shows there.
And that was for clothing for you?
Yes, probably. Yes, most likely.
So you don't see that there's any problem when you're ministering to the poor, the sick, the needy, to be appearing in Louis Vuitton and Versace?
Well, that ain't something I purchase all the time.
No, it looks like you did several times. And
I mean, I'm a very frugal person when it comes to this. I go to the right places to get a lot of suits, and if I get some from those places, you don't see that.
I don't see Macy's.
No, you don't see that, because Macy's don't have the kind of suits that I wear. But what I'm saying is this Louis Vuitton things, you don't see that in our charges all the time.
2013 and 14, JMMI spent over $30,000 in your clothes. Does that sound about right?
Salagi, sir.
Come on,
You see the homosexual demon had to come out. That she offended him when she said that. She said, Macy's, the homosexual demon, like, hold on. Like, do I look like the type of man that would wear Macy's? Like, the demon was like, how dare you insinuate that I would wear a peasant suit from Macy's?
From Macy's, he don't shop at Target. He shop at Target.
Target, right?
If it's Target, he'll shop there. But Target, no. They don't wear the type of suits I wear. Listen, even when she said that don't go there, you could tell when he said it just don't go there. He's saying it because he done yelled at the accountant, telling them, don't put that on the income. It don't go there. It go over where it's supposed to be, not taxed. Because this money, this money I'm spending on the clothes and the shoes and everything else, that can't be income. That's not income. It's church business. Like, this is who's in charge of your church. Drewski hit that shit right on the head, like he hit that shit right on the head with them faggots, with them purple faggots. He hit that shit right there with them. You know what I mean? Christianity is just such an abomination. It's such an abomination. You know what I mean?
If I could,
Yeah,
I'm good now. I'm on a different device. I was gonna say, I looked up the jacket that Drewski had on is based off a Christian Dior jacket a real pastor was wearing. And the price tag on that is it says on AI between, for that pattern, $3,100 or $4,500 just to be wearing that jacket with that design.
So this is just the pattern. This is not the actual jacket. So the bold cloth.
The jacket with that design is going to be between $3,000 and $4,500, depending on where you're buying it from. According to AI.
That is great. I'm trying to pull the image up for those who may not have seen it. But that is mad right there.
And a real pastor was wearing it. So, you know what I mean? Not counting he had the chain on, not counting that if that was real. No telling the shoes. I'm sure you ain't have no penny loafers. I'm sure you had real expensive shoes on, nice watch, all of that.
Brother?
Or their haircuts be costing hundreds of dollars. $300-$500 just the haircut.
He really just patterned himself after this dude. He didn't even make these skits up. He just watched this dude.
And these are same nasty niggas that get in the pulpit and then come down on regular black men, and you out there with the gold teeth in your mouth and the chains on your neck and the rings. Like, you homosexuals, you try to talk down on us for wanting to have a little bit of fly in our pocket. Why, what you spending, like, you pastors are the scum of the black Hispanic community. You know what you're doing in the dark and what you're doing with the people's money and how deliciously you live, and you got the nerve to open your mouth on the poor man, the poor righteous man, and turn our women against us. And now they lusting after you because you so nasty and flashy and trying to condemn us for the little bit that we have. You got you going out spending $300 on Jordans, nigga. Let's talk about how much you just spent on them Louis Vuitton shoes.
That's right.
Like that's crazy. It's Christ was the leaven of the Pharisees. Christ was talking about the hypocrites. Lock it.
If I could, sir.
Go ahead.
If I could, and I think Cap Kapoff was bringing it out earlier, so heavy, where he was saying the money.
Yeah, you froze again too, I worry.
Yeah, good night.
Them Christians mad tonight.
Yes,
them Christians.
Yeah, really.
And so, but that's wild. I didn't even know that shit. He patterned this off of the.
And then, if I could, I also heard that the pastors, they don't wear the same thing twice. So after they rock that $4,000 suit, they don't put it back on later. That's it. They move on.
Yeah, well, listen now. Skinny coming. That's all I could say. Skinny is coming on. Skinny is coming. You get what I'm saying? Skinny is coming. They say Putin took all the Russians out of Israel over the weekend.
Wow.
And, yeah, some news station reported, they said there was multiple flights to Moscow. So Putin said everybody come out to Israel. And what's going on with Iran? I think America is evacuating all the U.S. citizens from Iran. Or somebody. It's going down.
Yeah, Slovakia, so Venezuela.
Slovakia. They're pulling everybody out. But something going on with Iran too. I think that's in the stories, right? Let's try to get it. Exactly.
Yo,
I hope he's coming through.
They're having some serious protests across there.
And
they're having
for sure.
Yeah, they're having public executions. Ain't no, you know what I mean? Starlink, the gas shipment of Starlink is like, you know what I mean? They know whatever is going on in that country is outside forces is doing it.
So, and you know who running Starlink?
Yeah, Elon. And
go ahead.
And on one of the news station, until the smallest news station, they was claiming that basically, like, the people in there who have the weapons and firing on the officials or whatever, the forces across there, you know what I mean, it's trained by the small hats. So they created hell. Like, okay, like what they're doing to Venezuela right now is a blockade on Venezuela. You know what I mean? You can imagine what's going to happen maybe in a few months' time when no food is getting in, no medicine getting in, the people not making, the government not making money. What do you think will happen? Them people are going to turn, it's going to have a civil war in that country. And America wants to take it there. They want you on your knees. You understand? They're going to take it there. And the same thing they did, you know what I mean? How in the hell, you know what I mean, you could starve a country the way you starve a country and then expect the country now to feed its people. How are they doing that?
Yeah.
You put a blockade on them.
Yeah. They
If
definitely
I could, sir.
Go ahead.
On this same topic, I want to know, okay, I'm gonna ask a question now, but this is why I'm asking the question. I was watching something about the people in Iran protesting, right? And somebody said something that made me wonder. Like he said, we're not he said we're the great Persian people. We come from Cyrus. He said that we come from Cyrus. He said we no longer want to be associated with these Arabs. That's why we're taking down the flag of Iran and putting back the Persian flag, because we want to be known as the people who descend from Cyrus. So I say that, and I want to ask this question: can this be tied to everyone will be turned back to their own people? I mean, could it be tied to that scripture? Because it sounds like they're trying to go back to, they want to be the Persians. They don't want to be, Iranian. They don't want to be Arabs. They don't want to say assalamu alaikum. They want to be known as the people who come from the great, Persian nation, as they say.
They want to go back to that unconquered empire.
Come on.
Just so, So that one more time. They want to go back to the Persian.
Come on, sir. That's why they're saying that they were conquered by the Islamic Republic, right? And they were, in his words, they was made to live in an open air prison by people who's not their people, and they calling Harmony and saying he's not their people. They're Persians, and they want their prince back, their Shah back, and they want to be known by their legacy, which is, by their forefathers, which is, the Persian people. They don't want to speak Arabic and greet each other in Arabic and so forth.
I see what you're saying. That there is more than likely what you're talking about there is the propaganda they're pushing. That's the other side that's pushing that. That's the side that wants to topple the Iranian government, saying that they want to do that. You know what I mean? when that's what, you know what I mean, that's what I think Israel was trying to push the whole flag and stuff back to try to make the people go against each other.
Right.
But that is not what the, you know what I mean, what the, you know what I mean, the what you call it again, the government is saying. That means that's what the people who wants to, you know what I mean, the government overthrown is saying.
Come on. No, I definitely agree with that 100%. I'm, you know, the white man is the devil. So any what the scriptures say, whatever this calamity, he's the first dead, right? So yeah, definitely. But you know, the people of Iran, the Iranians, there was like one of the things there was a complaint about. Like for example, they don't want to wear, for example, the hijab, right? And there was a girl who she wasn't wearing the hijab. I don't know if y'all saw this on the news. This was a couple years ago. She wasn't wearing the hijab properly, meaning a piece of her hair was out. You know, she got executed over that. And at that point, that's when protests started. And they said, nah, we're not who you trying to make us into. Know what I mean, that's why I want to know can we use before I take it out to camp, can we use the precept, everyone will turn back to their own people? You know, because it seems to me like, you know, we want to turn back to our people. And they may inadvertently be doing it because of all the propaganda. I mean, but you know, sometimes this is the Lord that's causing it to happen also.
Yeah, you right now that.
So like I say, you're breaking up, sir.
You could definitely use that. You understand? Because that's what's going on right now. Everybody trying to, you know what I mean, get back to, you know what I mean, their own people. Remember, I think South Korea went and sat down with China. You understand? So they definitely, it's going to go there. It's going there.
Come. The water, sir.
All right. Oh boy.
So like there's no sound, Captain Mashak.
Okay, so Lucky, hold on. Let me do it one more.
Come on, sir.
This is the hijab
sparked by anger over rising costs. Death toll could be up to 2,000 people as authorities crack down on protesters with mass killings. As the protest unfolds, Iranian women have started a viral trend that's spreading around the world. The women are burning images of the country's supreme...
Brother, that is absolutely wicked out. I ain't sorry for them, you know, for Iran, but this is definitely an example. You can't have a problem with this when you watch them do it to us.
Right.
You watch them glorify images of our women dressing and acting like whores, and you did nothing. Nobody protested that movie Mahogany. I saw that movie Mahogany in the World, and then in the Truth Act, and I was disgusted the second time around with how they allowed Diana Ross to portray herself and to be at the women fancy of every sexual white deviant on the planet Earth. Like, if it's good for us, it's good for you.
Right.
Don't complain now. Don't complain about it now. Woman, thou art loose. Puff, puff, pass, bitch. Puff, puff, pass. Y'all watched while they did it to us and allowed our women to be whores. Y'all wasn't flying Iranian women to United Arab Emirates and defecating on them and all kind of shit. Y'all was doing that to our women.
Right.
Yep.
Now, let's see what happens with yours. It's crazy.
Leader Ali Khamenei, sometimes even using the flaming photograph to light their cigarettes. The 86-year-old dictator is the most potent symbol of a regime where morality police ensure women always cover themselves with a hijab. It's been that way since 1979, when Iran's secular monarchy was overthrown by an Islamist revolution. Iran was once a relatively liberal country with much greater freedoms for women. But shortly after the revolution, the new government introduced a mandatory dress code for women. Any who disobey the laws are subjected to harassment, imprisonment, beatings, and sometimes even death in police custody. In 2022, women's rights protests erupted when Mahsa Amini died after being held by the morality police for allegedly not wearing a hijab. The protests happening today are on a much bigger scale, and it's possible they could topple Iran's leadership altogether. Iranian-Australian lecturer Sahar Kajani told us the trend of burning the Ayatollah's photo is a symbol.
Brother, they look like good old crackhead whores. They look like they in Coachella or some festival with what's that brother who they all like? Travis Scott playing in the background, and they in Coachella, and a line of coke is coming on the back of this one here. When it was happening to all women, nobody gave a damn. Now it's happening to yours. It's a problem. I ain't sure I'm feeling it for you. Yeah,
Right.
I ain't sure I'm feeling it for you. He's definitely destroying the culture of the empire with the wanton lust of the West.
Yeah. Yes, a lot concerned.
Come on.
Even this right here, like this is a psyop. But the imagery of the not to say that there's not infighting that is going on, that is legit infighting,
right?
And pushback. But this imagery, this screams CIA. Like this screams CIA or psyop to even think to like the cigarette has always been Esau's symbol for freedom and like that's Esau. That's
gratification.
Right? Yes, right. Instant gratification. That and to burn the picture of this leader with the cigarette, I don't think that's a homegrown idea. I think that is a foreign concept that's coming from these intelligence agencies that's doing this, because this right here
that's American.
See, that's American. The water. That's American.
If I could, you know what I'm saying? Shalom, I can you ever show up thoughts like I'm coming in a little late. But Kazaka's bringing out it so heavy in that's American advertisement. Like that them smoking that cigarette says more than just, down with this leader. This says I'm free to be a whore. This says I can go to the beach with a 2-piece bikini. I can, sit on. Next thing you're gonna have Iranian women sitting on top of Maseratis eating double cheeseburgers. You know what I'm saying? And they don't. What they don't tell you is that this is what leads to whoredom. This is what leads to, baby mamas. This is what leads to prostitution in the streets. This is what leads to, young girls being sexually assaulted and abused, which leads to them being on stripper poles. Like America has an evil way of sending a message without sending a message, if that make any sense. Like they are promoting, like Kazak said, none of these women in the middle of this process just said, you know what we should do, y'all? Let's burn the leader and light a cigarette with his image. Like that's not even a normal thought that somebody has. This is something that was focus group, something that was discussed and talked about in boardrooms. And once we decide that we're going to overthrow the Iranian regime, how do we usher in democracy? How do we usher in freedom? How do we get the women? And imagine this, you attack a population of people, half of it, if not more than that, is women. You want to cause division of families. You want to break up the relationships between the men and the women. Like this is how you do it. And the oppressor has had a lot of practice doing it. And now we're seeing it manifest itself on the other side of the world.
Yeah. Like I said, if I could pull the scripture, with your permission, I'll pull the scripture, Daniel chapter 8, verse 25, to what both Sakawar and Kazak was mentioning. Daniel 8, verse 25 says, and through his policies also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. I mean, so he uses these policies. It gives you the idea of freedom. I mean, peace and freedom. And through that, he destroys the whole nations. This nation here, you're going to see in a couple of years, a decade or maybe less, prostitution will be on the streets. It was ready to be behind closed doors. I know about them Arabs, but it was going to be on the streets, going to be open display. It's gonna be lewd dressing and drug addicts, and it'll be just like America.
If I could, yeah, I didn't realize I was muted. So if I could too, okay. Not only is because I supposedly Benson and Hedges cigarette came a long way. Listen, listen, that was like the champagne of cigarettes. That Benson and Hedges. It's like you was smoking on gold shit. It's like it was just rough. But not only that, when the oppressor starts to seduce your woman, it's not just to destabilize the place, but it's also to send a message to you and your woman that you are not in charge, and to send a message to your woman that this nigga can't protect you. So this year that comes to the point of it's hinged on the point of liberation for these Arab women, but also that's what also is there that's not being spoken of outright is the fact that to them, these Iranian men or the Iranian regime can't really protect them. That's why they have to choose the Western way. And it's coupled with the whole abuse of the woman. She dies in captivity for not wearing the hijab and this and that. When you see the oppressor starts to go after your woman, that's why Trump took Maduro's wife. Like, what the fuck she do? Is she a minister? Is she a senator? Does she run some interior department? But taking her is sending the message that I'm in charge and this nigga cannot protect you. And this here sends the same message. It's sending the same message. You some old Arab, you old white bearded Arab watching this shit. You know you can't protect your daughters against this. Like how are you protecting them? How are you stopping them? How you when the internet, the TV, the radio is pushing this image? Like the psychology behind the thing is what wars is fought over. Yeah, I mean this oppressor here using that image is very crafty, extremely crafty.
Yeah, so crafty. We can't hear about the Epstein files.
Yeah, we can't hear about that shit. We cannot hear about the Epstein files. And listen, these heathens are so brutal. They don't just abuse their women; they abuse the men and the young boys. How come there's never been some young boy that we have to go rescue in the Middle East? Each time there's a war in the Middle East, is something. Remember with the Taliban, it was some girl who wanted to go to university that I think they killed her, they beat her because she wanted to study. You probably might not remember that, but they paraded her all over the place. Some young girl, and she was so smart, and she would look at videos and try to do experiments, and they say the Taliban did not want her to get a degree. Where's all these boys you're having that mosque that going up under that dress? But it's the whole craft, like what Kazak bringing out about the CIA, the calling cards, the imagery. It's doing multiple things at once. It's doing multiple things at once, and in a few years, you just have a nation that looks black or Latino.
And if I could, for the average brother or sister or person watching, they don't think that this is far-fetched, because really that's just the tip of the iceberg. I was watching a YouTube documentary about different ops that the CIA had done before that kind of were like outlandish. One of them was they made a doll of Taliban, but the doll, after a certain amount of time and a certain amount of heat, is the face dissolves into a demon. So the idea was to give the kids the toy, so they'd be like, yeah, Taliban soldier, Taliban war hero, and then over time the face would turn into a demon and melt, and then it would scare the kid from Taliban, or make them be like afraid of Taliban people, like, oh, it's going to turn into a demon on me, it changed, so to like freak the kid out, because obviously this was your favorite toy, now look at it, it turned into a demon and you won't know what to think. So that's just one little idea they did, you know what I mean? So, let alone, they probably got all types of stuff ready in the wing for this Ayatollah stuff. They're probably gonna have a video coming out of Ayatollah sleeping with AI video. Ayatollah doing something freaky or something. They got all types of trains.
Like you bring on something heavy there. Like this shit is a real life thing that existed. This toy they bring out is a real life thing that existed. Listen, the report says, I'm trying to tell you, the report says the concept of a Taliban toy that changed into a demon refers to a declassified CIA psychological operation, or PSYOP, planned from the mid-2000s to create an action figure of Al-Qaeda leader Osama bin Laden, whose face would transform into a demon. Key details of the plan. Target. The toys, sometimes referred to by the project name Devil Eyes, were intended to scare children and parents in the Middle East into viewing bin Laden as a monstrous figure, thereby undermining his influence. The mechanism. The face of the 12-inch action figure was coated with a heat-sensitive material that would peel off in warm conditions, of course, because they're living in warm conditions, to reveal a red-faced demonic image with frightening green eyes and black facial markings beneath. Of course, black facial markings because the Arabs is low-key racist. So black is evil. That's crazy. Yeah. The CIA enlisted the help of Donald Levine, a retired executive from Hasbro, who was involved in the creation of the original G.I. Joe figure to develop prototypes. So what psyops they run on us with this G.I. Joe? That is insane. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Priest.
Now, I was just gonna say real quick, Captain. That dog go from Osama bin Laden to Osama the Sith Lord. Look at the face on that. It like some Star Wars shit. Like he turn to the dark side. He go from Osama bin Laden to Osama bin Dark Side. Dog. That's diabolical. It's like
listen, if I could, like, imagine now you some little boy with this in your room, your action figure. You know, children, they get something. They get a toy. They sleep with the toy. Prop the toy on the side of the bed, and you roll over, and these green eyes and this red face, right at you, you're gonna bawl for life. You're gonna go ahead, Con.
Hey, Con, I'm gonna put these images. I'm gonna see if I can put it in the chat. This is why you can't underestimate art, man. Like art is, the arts, and people. It's art. There's an artistic way to get your point across, a creative way. That's why they start banning a lot of them artists and things like that when revolutionaries start. They prop some up and then they ban some because they say a picture's worth 1,000 words. But then when you take an action figure or you take a motion picture or things like that, and you able to get your message across, like going back even to Drewski, you know what I'm saying? There's a comedic form of truth, right? In a lot of in that realm, and it stirs the pot, and a lot of people can't deal with it. You know what I'm saying? So, there's some similarities into that whole thing, but that show you that the enemy will use whatever they can to get their point across, to get their message across, whether it may be music, toys, all kinds of ways they can do propaganda to make you think outside the realm of what you have in your culture. You know what I'm saying? So I have a picture. Let me see if I can pull it up. Let's see if I can put it. I'm gonna send it to you, Cap. I think it's they got a Christine Nome. Christy Nome, the one that's under Trump, the one that's over the Ice Barbie.
Okay.
They got her, I coined her a new name, Foam Gnome. That's what I'm calling her now, Foam Gnome. They got a picture of her. I mean, it's an artistic picture, but it's like the Botox on steroids. So I'm gonna send you the picture of it and see if you can probably put that up. It's funny, man. It's some crazy stuff they got out here.
It's like a caricature. I think that's what they call them.
Yeah, it's almost like a character. Let me see if I'm gonna forward it to you on your email.
Okay, let me know if it's this one here. Let me know if it's this one. Is it this or is it another one that's more like a droid?
Nah, this one here, it looked like Leatherface. Hold on, let me forward it to you. Hold on 1 second.
So, like, sir, as Captain Yahanna is looking for that, with that image you just showed, Captain Shop made me think of something. I remember, being young, growing up, and what we were given as images of like demons and devils in the movies was movies like Exorcist, right? And Poltergeist. And I remember thinking that demonic possession was like, face turn green and the head spin around and then throwing up. But now, the face of demons is the face of Christy Nolan. Like the face of demons is the makeup on Donald Trump. They show. I seen a video of him giving a speech in Michigan yesterday, and it's like they didn't do his makeup right. Like the orange wasn't the same, and you could see the demon like under the skin. Like we get this image of this orange guy with this, this mop on his head, but when you see the real, like without the makeup, it's like, oh, this is Satan. Going back to another Star Wars reference, this is Palpatine after he got into it with them in the little in the room when he fought the Jedi. They did the beam with the electric shit. That's Donald Trump really. What we see is not the real Donald Trump. We see the orange painted, hairpiece Donald Trump, but the real Donald Trump up under all that makeup is decrepit and veins in his face and neck. That arm, that hand, and that ankle, you think that's bad and swollen. You should see his face before the makeup chair. Like these people are absolutely dead on the inside and the outside. And they are the embodiment of evil, of demons and monsters. And that Christy Nolan, she been in that surgeon's chair about 10 times. They done piled all types of Botox and this injection and that injection and this plastic surgery on that face. Salaki.
So like a Cap, I don't know if you had got the email yet. I had sent it to you.
Yeah, I seen it here. I try to see how to pull it up. This is
okay.
Hold on.
Like this, like man, like when I seen that face, but you know what? You could tell somebody heavily imposed the Botox on they on steroids, but it should be illegal to have that much plastic in your face. I mean, like that right there, like it's look terrible, man. But you can see, but like you said, like how they took the Arab, Arab Osama bin Laden and made his, what I'm saying? Like it shows you, it imposes Western ideology of how not only how they feel about this particular character or figure, but how they feel about the religion. Or how they feel about the ideology. And that's the thing, how that's why we got to be careful. The Bible said, don't be ignorant of Satan's devices. He has many devices and things that he uses. And you know what's so crazy about it? When you step back, when you look at Black and Latino, Native American, Indian people, and you look at our history of quote unquote progression in America, you start to see his fingerprint on certain things that happen in certain decades. Like when you step back and really look at it, like now you're seeing how, because the closer we get to the end, all these things are unraveling. Like his ways and the things that he do is all coming to the surface now. So now you able to, in essence, with social media and the digital age that we're in, you in essence, you're able to hit the rewind button.
Right.
And go back and say, okay, this was done now. Okay, how was this done in the 60s? How was this done in the 50s? And you're starting to see a pattern here. Oh, they got this. We was growing strong, and then this happened. We was growing strong, and this happened. All these are Satan's devices. And we can't be ignorant of it no more. He has the same playbook. And we got to make sure that that's why we got to come into the ISUPK so we can able to see a lot of these things and how they undermine a society. They'll do it through women. They'll do it through children. Look, you go right there. Look at that right there. Somebody took that right there. And I don't know if you can zoom in, Cap. They got to see the 1,000 resolution pixels. Phone known.
Man,
no, this is like a drawing they did, or this is actually a picture of her.
This is a drawing. Like they took it's almost like the toy you just showed.
Right,
They know she on Botox. They know she, she's in the plastic that enhanced her face. She got to get injections just so her smile go 30 degrees up. So they knew that they said, okay, let's take what she's doing and let's superimpose it in an artistic way to show that she's not human. To show that because she's over ice, she's not human. Let's just show her face like the leather. Like I see priest and officer her wore jigsaw. Right, that's correct. Okay. So like I yield.
Oh Lord.
Hey, that and it's almost as if these people who over us also too. It's almost like in the Bible how Esau was jealous when Jacob got the blessing. Like they seriously jealous of us. Size, skin, everything they're jealous about black people with that. Dick Cheney. You know which heart attack that man had? They said that man had at least 5 heart attacks starting when he was 37. You understand? He had a bad heart. He had something in his chest helping him stay alive. You understand? Like these people really put together in a way where, it's almost as if looking at us is vex them.
Of course.
Like we put these people through all this hell and they're still able to, enjoy life, live life, and and we here had to suffer.
So if I could, what you're saying is so right. Like, look at this piece of garbage, Christian Gnome, Foam, aka Foam Gnome. You can imagine, her, getting this Botox and she step outside the Latin Quarter. And you look at this right here. It's like
this is her real face here, because
that's her. Oh my goodness! So you see that the art imitates real life.
Yep, they ain't far off.
It ain't far off. So now, this is like somebody at a wax museum here. Okay?
Yes.
All right. Like this. Now imagine this person who can't look in the mirror without getting an injection, seeing a beautiful sister look like Selena. And she hates the Latino woman because the Latino woman has natural beauty.
Look better than her.
Beautiful. You understand? And so to make her, it's almost like Snow White. Like she got to take this woman's beauty, got to deport you. You got to import your face. Okay, like this is what. And I want to say one thing too. When you deal with this propaganda, they know in order to wage war on to effectively wage war, you have to not see the person as human.
Yeah.
Okay, you have to dehumanize them in order to effectively wage war.
Yeah,
Hitler did it with Germany. You have to dehumanize. So how do you do that? Art, toys, propaganda. So now it's being reversed. They said, okay, after the woman Renee Good got unalived, right? Now they're okay, let's paint them as the unhuman people. Look at her face.
Yeah.
She's not human. She can't have a soul with a face like that.
Yikes.
Huh? She can't have a soul. They don't look human to me. That look unhuman.
Yeah.
You understand? And her actions show it. So this is where it's going now. So you never underestimate the artistic form of expression, whether it be music, paintings, imagery. All those things are effective in not only in preserving a culture, but also destroying a culture. So like I yield.
Yeah.
And if I could say one thing on top of that.
Yeah, go ahead.
What you're saying is so heavy when you, especially now, you bringing out the art. Because I remember in my high school, and this is probably, and I think I've seen it in multiple schools. They had on the top of the ceiling on the wall an image of a black man as a slave, but it was on a timeline. So it had the line. So it had and that was the beginning of history on the timeline. It was a black man on his knees as like on one knee as a slave with chains on him, and then the timeline went to Martin Luther King and civil rights, and then it went to today. So that whole they basically created a historical timeline for black kids to see. Then you got civil rights, and you're here today. Basically, jumping and skipping hundreds of years of history, because they know they don't. I mean, it don't matter to you in their head. To them, they're like, oh, you don't need to know about all that other stuff. You just need to know you was a slave, and we freed you, and then you got your rights, and now you're here. Be thankful. So they even using that in the school system. They're using art to manipulate the minds of the kids and manipulate the minds of the people to think a certain way. That's why in America, the American school system is garbage, because they start history at the start of America, which is not history. That's not real history. That's not real knowledge. You can't teach people, say, all right, everything you need to know started when this place started 400 years ago. You don't know nothing about nothing else before that.
Exactly.
So, or we're not teaching nothing else before that. You can go learn it, but we ain't going to show you nothing before that.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, man.
So like, can I say one thing too, going off what Captain Kapash said?
Yeah.
And our children are I mean, it's in them. They're wise. Some of our children, I say inquisitive in the beginning, because inquisitive is like the beginning stages of wisdom in certain aspect knowledge. But they'll get to that point in the beginning and say, what happened before this?
Mm-hmm.
Children are like that. You can say in the beginning, but they say, what was before the beginning? Children are, you know what I'm saying? They're very inquisitive, especially our children. You understand? Mm-hmm. So you can't you can lie to them, but you can't lie like you used to. And not only that, when you just look at art, okay, let's just say you got a young white boy in the class or a young white girl, and they draw a picture of, a whole bunch of blood and, and murder and stuff and the teacher would never say, this is alarming what this child did. Get this child checked out. Let me just show you how they look at art and art, their art versus our art.
Right.
But then you would have a black child that draw Jesus Christ as being a black man. And they say, who is that? Who is that? Oh, that's Jesus Christ. He's black. Okay, we got to get him checked out. Because this is alarming. This is alarming because this can upset the status quo. I don't need you, in order for me to indoctrinate you, I don't need you thinking that you're great.
Yeah.
You understand? I want you to think that America's great. And your greatness is through America's greatness. Not independent of that. That is what's going on with our children. And it's happening more now that they talking about the critical race theory and DEI and all that, because it has to, your greatness is through America's greatness. Right. That's what defines you. You can't be greatness because of who you are and who God made you. And that's why the UPK is so important. Yeah. Because we are here to cleanse the minds of our youth. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be definitely through the scriptures, but through whatever they may be good at. They may be good at music. They may be good at art. Whatever. Bring it into the house of the Lord. You understand? Yeah. We have some decorative pieces for you to design. I yield.
Yep. You could get your whole skill here. That's right. Go ahead, Warrior.
If I could, sir, and what everybody's saying is so heavy. As y'all talking, I'm thinking about, how one of not just Iran, but any nation who's at war with America, North Korea, whoever, one of the first things they do to go into defense is they cut off their internet. They don't allow the internet in their country. They don't allow any propaganda to come in. And I just think about black people. It's like we've never had any type of defense like that. We are exposed to the internet. So whatever comes with the internet, we're into, right? To show you the power of the propaganda, Iran cut off their internet. Like I forgot who brought it out earlier, but Iran cut off their internet, and they give them Starlink. They turn Starlink on over there for free for them, because that's such a massive weapon in a war against a people that you have to be able to influence them and to trigger them and to push propaganda. I wonder what it would be like if we was protected from the so-called white man and his internet and what he pushes. Because imagine the people living under him and have never had anybody to say, hey, this is not the type of entertainment we want. This is not the type of stuff our children should be seeing. You know what I mean? So it's just, as I'm listening, it's like all of it is propaganda. And the first thing a nation does to protect themselves is try to cut themselves off from white communication.
Yeah.
And we have no such ability to do so. So
listen, not only that, Awarium, like imagine being able, because they said them Starlink packages came overnight, right?
Come.
They came to us all overnight. Imagine being able to mobilize something like that overnight to help your people. Imagine food to Haiti, food to Jamaica. They just had the hurricane. Internet to Jamaica that just had the hurricane. Vaccines. Remember, they wasn't giving us that vaccine. They wanted to keep us away from this thing. So this is even more proof that not only imagine what protection would look like, now you can see what the attack looks like, because they could move things when they want to.
Yep.
You know, I mean, it's just they have the opportunity cost in business. In business, there's something called opportunity cost, and they look at how much it's going to cost us to do this thing if we go one extra mile or one extra unit or one additional package. What's the opportunity cost if we do it or we don't do it? And they could see the opportunity cost with the heathens, but with us, it's just to let us die, let us starve, let us be without communication. You know, we don't have to worry about them. But you send, Starlink packages to Iran. That Starlink package starts at about $660.
Good night.
Yeah, I mean, because you're owning the satellite, that device, the receiver. You're owning the thing, and you would, you're just paying for the monthly usage of it after. But the hardware is about $600 and something to start, and you send a shipment over to Iran. Like, you ain't hurting for no money.
That's right.
You ain't hurting for no money. I thought you all don't negotiate with terrorists. I thought you all don't fund terrorists.
Right.
That's wild, man. That's a wild situation there. You know what I mean? Let's get into some of these Iran stories too before we run all the way out of the time, because I know that a lot of them is connected. We probably ran through some of them already, right?
Yeah.
We done ran through a lot of them already. Iran's fighting during the protests. I think we covered some of that. The U-Haul. You want to talk about that U-Haul?
Come on.
Yeah,
someone press or pull the U-Haul and just he said, like, we're gonna run through all of them.
Come on. If I could, as we get in the story, so just for brothers and sisters out there to understand, this thing that's happening with Iran is not new. This is not a strange occurrence. I remember around the time I first came into the truth, they had the Arab Spring, where they had the uprisings over there in Egypt where they got rid of Mubarak, and then they had the whole uprising in Libya where they got rid of Muammar Gaddafi. And they said that during that time, those protests was being coordinated on the cell phones on Facebook.
Yep, Twitter.
And them Arab nations had to learn the hard way that all that social media was the white man's way of being able to communicate without having to utilize any clandestine radios. They ain't got to have the Mission Impossible blow up when the message finished device. They got your regular cell phone you use every day. They got a Facebook group called Operation Anarchy. And they at 9 p.m. your local time, everybody get a text alert to come meet up in the town square. And it's reminiscent of, in times past. I remember back in, I forget, the 60s and 70s, they had the big Tiananmen Square protests. Where these students came out and thought they was going to protest Chinese communism. They came out there and protested. Them communists came out there and unalived them in the square.
Yeah.
We are not going to be impeded by any Western imperialist thought. They thought they right on TV. They brought the tank out there, cat knelt in the street. They came out there, beat him, and unalived him. You know what I'm saying? So Donald Trump is there. They're using this protest to push the leadership of Iran to say, if you go and unalive these people in the street, if you go and you unalive these protesters, then now we're gonna have to step in and be the moral police. When the hypocrisy of America is like, it's unfathomable.
Yeah,
you had January 6th, and they came out there and beat the police, and when the one person that got unalived by the police damn near made her a martyr.
Yeah,
but then now 2 years, a few years later, ICE. This lady driving her truck trying to get away. The police unalive her. They say she was a terrorist wielding a vehicular weapon against the officer. But yet you gonna cause a protest in the middle of these people's country, then threaten to come bomb them, because they stand up for their country and they defend their sovereignty against the protest. It's just a whole evil, disgusting, horrible thing the white man is doing right now.
Listen, you can't blame him. He won power, and that's what he gonna do again.
Yeah,
he won power. If I could, I just wanna. This is an outstanding picture here, and this is the oppressor. Kazako Warren was going to pull the story. I think it's like number.
Yeah, I got it up. I got it up, sir.
Go ahead.
Damn.
Video captures chaos as U-Haul truck accelerates into Iran protest in LA. The man who drove a U-Haul truck through a crowd of Iranian demonstrators could face a charge of assault with a deadly weapon, according to Los Angeles police. The incident unfolded Sunday afternoon as thousands gathered near the federal building on Wilshire Boulevard in Westwood to voice opposition to Iran's Islamic regime in solidarity with demonstrations inside Iran and around the globe.
No, listen. Was the driver American or he was Iranian?
I'm see.
That's what I want to know. And this, it's
that's a lot. Go ahead,
go ahead.
No, it just, man, if he was Iranian, that's crazy, man. I mean, because this right, I mean, you go from Iran to I drove. Talking about the American dysfunction that's going on in this goddamn place, man. It's disgusting.
Right.
Like,
oh,
good
shit.
night, man. So like, I yield. Man.
No, listen, you're right.
Shit, man. Come on, man.
Like, I really need to know at this point, because what man would be this mad? The Iranians ain't protesting your country.
Right.
I want to know, is this got to be a Iranian? And listen, this is the heavy thing about this picture. Go ahead.
So like I said, the driver has not been identified yet.
Oh, that means he's an agent. That means that means they gotta keep his identity unknown. This is what's so heavy about this picture, and it's so poetic. It's in LA. This looks like the LA riots with Reginald Denny. Y'all remember Reginald Denny?
That's right.
Come on.
This looks like the LA riots, the same black and white police car. Reginald Denny met I think his truck was incapacitated somehow. Either the tires blew out or something. And they dragged that white man from that truck, brother, and beat him with a brick. I mean, I had to turn away and then to rewind it to watch the footage. I mean, the brother down near like an end zone dance, beat him with a brick in his head. This looks like the same thing. And I remember how they spoke about black people being animals. Just untamed and rioting for no reason. Well, I mean, I would like to get a script so I could just say that about these Iranians. These animals, they're rioting for no reason. You're in the greatest country in the world, and that's what they say.
That's right, Ken.
They say to us, what are you complaining about?
Right.
You're in Hollywood. You're out there with the rich and the famous. You're out there.
If you don't like it, then leave.
Say again?
If you don't like it, then leave.
If you don't like it, then leave.
That's right.
What are they complaining about? Because they said them evil ass things to us. It's damn near like, if I could get a scripture with the cup, where this cup would pass from you to them. You know what I'm talking about?
The dregs.
With the dregs are. If I could get that precept, please. Isaiah 51.
Kawakan, Isaiah chapter 51, verse 17. Awake, awake, stand up, O Jerusalem, which has drunk at the hand of the Lord the cup. So like, which has drunk at the hand of the Lord the cup of his fury.
Right.
Thou hast drunken the dregs of the cup of trembling and wrung them out.
Like we done drank the Lord's fury. We done accepted it. We done got it from slavery to Jim Crow, segregation, black codes, cocaine and drugs and heroin in our neighborhoods, the riots, all these different riots that's happened, all these different tragedies that you suffer on the mainland, not to mention the Caribbean and in Latin American countries. And they called us animals and said we have no reasoning, and there's no reason for this. Like you're in the greatest country, and it's just we agitators and just misfits and no good. But we done took the wrath of the Lord. And give me verse 22, brother.
Come. Thus saith thy Lord, the Lord, and thy God that pleadeth the cause of his people. Behold, I have taken out of thine hand the cup of trembling, even the dregs of the cup of my fury. Thou shalt no more drink it again.
Keep going.
But I will put it into the hand of them that afflict thee, which have said to thy soul, bow down, that we may go over.
And it's so poetic that this look. You know what would be even more poetic? If this is the same intersection with Reginald Denny.
Good night.
I'm afraid to go look it up. I'm literally afraid to go look it up because it so strikingly resembles that whole thing. It's just as a U-Haul truck instead of the 18-wheeler he was driving. They call us animals. They couldn't understand. They say, why are you burning down your own city, your own place? Why are these Iranians protesting for? They're not in Iran. They're not over there. But now the Lord is visiting unto them what the pain and the affliction that we once had to deal with. The Lord is visiting unto them because they were the ones who would tell us bow down so they could walk over. Like they could just, call us anything, do us anything, and take our money and take our love and take everything and just abuse us. Now they're abusing themselves.
Right.
The dude name is Kalor Mandanshet, who is an Iranian American. Good enough for me. Good enough for me. Now they're doing it to themselves.
That's right.
Now they going through pain. Now they suffering. Like the Lord is bringing everything back to these heathens, where these heathens are going to face it in these last days.
That's right.
Truck shoot them. Go ahead, Cap, please.
You're so right too, Salaki Cap. Because they like to say, black on black crime.
Right.
Why are you crying? Why are you crying? Why are you coming again? What is happening to your people right now?
Right.
You understand? But now you're seeing Iranian crime.
Right.
What you going to say?
That's right.
You know what I mean? What you going to say? Like now these other nations getting to see, it wasn't our fault.
That's right.
And they were only allowed to be a nation because the oppressor was letting them be a nation.
Yeah.
That's right, Cap.
That's all. Because he could allow us to be a nation, but the problem is we'll rise above him.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? The Esau knows these people are not going to rise above him. You understand?
Yeah.
He knows it. You understand? But they fall for it and thought, well, at least we ain't niggas. Well, now we'll see. We'll see how much of you are going to be niggas.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're going to feel it.
So like if I could, Cap.
Yeah.
And it's so heavy with Cap Mashak, Cap Nathak bringing out, because he's so right, man. Like when the LA riots were going on, where were the Iranians? They were in the confines of their mosques and saying, look at those Negroes. Look at those. They didn't say the word Negroes, of course. They probably had an Iranian word for nigger. But just look at them. Look at they act like savages.
Yeah.
And that's why in the book of Psalms it's so poetic when the Bible says, "Why do the heathen rage?"
Right.
And imagine a vain thing. Like when you put them in half of what we've been through, you think that these people are civilized. You're gonna see the worst animal that you ever seen act out. You're gonna sit back and like, man, where all this come from? It was always in them.
Yeah.
But they never had to suffer. They never had to go through what you went through. They didn't go through Jim Crow. They didn't go through slavery. They didn't go through redlining. You understand? They're not going through what was going on with ICE right now. So they didn't have to, they didn't have to go through all the toils and the turmoil that we went through. So it's so right what Captain Meshach said. That scripture right there, they're going to get the drink from that cup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're going to drink every bit to the quote unquote bitter end.
Yeah.
That's right.
You understand? They're going to have to swallow everything they watch. They didn't stop us from drinking.
Right.
They could have said, you know what, man, I put that cup down. No, they sit there and watch us get destroyed.
Yeah.
And found a way to profit and market off of it.
Yeah. Right.
How can we part these people? I'll put some here, I'll put some here. You understand? And sit back, and now the Lord, the tables are turning now. Now you get to sit back and say, oh, what happened to nonviolence? The way you told us to be nonviolent.
Right.
Oh, they don't apply to you now. Oh, your freedom is at stake. Your life is at stake. Oh, your culture is at stake. Oh, okay. So that gives you a right to be violent. But you didn't believe that with us.
Right.
Yep.
You see, the Lord is poetic in how he does things. And once again, he's rewinding this thing and showing us in real time, in 4K vision, what's going on. So like
if I could, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
If I could, what Cap Kahan just said was so heavy, and saying that they sat back and they watched. Not only did they watch, right? They collected us into their religion because we looked so disoriented and had no culture. It was easy for us to convert to Islam because they looked like they had it right. And we had no identity. We were nobody. I remember years ago, this is about 5 or 6 years ago, I was having a conversation with a sister. She was Muslim. And, she started noticing I was, I used to have shirts with the Shield of David and stuff like that. And she started asking questions, right? So she found out who we were. So one day she came to me and she said, what do you identify first as? Being black or being an Israelite? So I asked her, why you asking me that question? She says, I have this conflict because I don't know if I'm black first or if I'm Muslim first, right? So I told her, the beauty with us is the two are the same for us.
Right.
You see what I mean? Being black is being an Israelite. I don't have to pick between the two.
That's right.
And she was like, well, I have to pick Muslim first because that's my faith. I have to be black. I have to be Muslim first. So I said, so that means if war breaks out between black people and the Arabs, you got to go with the Arabs. She said, yes.
That's
so.
Listen, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna finish short by saying, so while we were in disarray and spoiled, they not only watched us, they just collected us to join and follow and be under them. Now, like you said, the tables are turning. Now they're looking like the people who are confused. You know what I mean?
Listen, I just gonna say Sarah, it's so heavy where she said, Islam is her faith, which means she believes she's Muslim, but she don't believe she's black.
Right.
That's think about the psychology. You're looking in the mirror and you see a big nose and thick lips. You look and she a woman, so she got hips. You're looking at something that's there. She said that's her faith. Faith, what is this? Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. You seeing you're black.
That's right.
But you believe you something else. Brother, the fig leaves, the garden, the peer pressure. Like we are people really robbed and spoiled out.
That's right, Cap.
Like she's imagine that you conflicted over that thing. It's rough.
And you know the what conflicted her over is this was around the time, if I remember correctly, of George Floyd and these things, right? So she was like and I know this feeling because I was in a Christian church where something happens to black people and black people are upset, and you walk into the Christian church and it's as if it never happened. There's no mention of it. There's no. You know, when I came to the truth, sir, you know, I started hearing about things I never knew about. You know, I never knew about the transatlantic slave trade. Never heard of it.
Damn.
Right? So I went into our books in the Christian church because we had these big books, and I was so-called learned in that religion, right? So I said, surely I'm going to be able to find slavery in our books. And, you know, even though they don't talk about it, I could find the records and I could see God's view on it. I'm looking up slavery. And I seen slavery to drugs. I seen modern day slavery in places like Indonesia, sex trafficking. I'm looking, there's no such thing as the transatlantic slave trade. It doesn't exist. I mean, and I'm saying there like, and I picked every rock up because I have faith in that religion. And it's as if my pain does not exist in that religion.
Right.
That's right.
Slavery to cigarettes, slavery to everything, and slavery to alcohol. I mean, I remember vividly because it's like slavery to gambling, every type of slavery, but my slavery. My slavery did not exist.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the same thing that was happening with her because she's seen all these protests over George Floyd, but she walks into the Muslim mosque and they're talking about Palestine.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. She looking at the mosque. The mosque ain't talking about George Floyd, but the part of her she ignoring is stirring up.
Yeah.
Part of her she's, you know, neglecting is actually stirring up. So she's like, hold on, you're an Israelite. I wonder how you dealing with it because you talking about it. Does your people talk about it? Yeah, we want the same. Well,
That's
shit,
right.
I'm a Muslim. We not wanting. If anything, it should tell her that that's the wrong religion.
That's right, Cap.
It should tell her something. But again, brother, we did a number and are so strong.
So lock it, Cap.
Go ahead, please.
Just hearing that brother's, you know what I'm saying, you know, testimony on, you know, what he dealt with dealing with, you know, women and the sister in the world, man. And it reminded me of a quote that I saw, man, and it's so heavy. And the quote says, hell is a place where you seen truth too late. Like, meaning like, okay, you're going to eventually have to face the truth. Eventually. Whether you want to believe it or not, eventually. But it, like that quote, it made me think about it, meaning I see the truth, but now it's too late now.
Oh.
Like that's like eventually, like you seeing it at the end, but it's not. It's kind of like what the general said with that movie Wicked, as the witch was falling.
Yeah,
she's seeing her reflection and who she really was.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is going into the psyche of Black people. Like your faith and religion, your faith and your culture. Satan he separates that. Why can't they be one and the same?
Yeah.
Why can't you have perfect equilibrium with who you are?
Right.
Your God, your culture. That's when you don't have that, that's not the truth.
Yeah.
You understand? You don't have the truth because you're in conflict. The truth puts you at peace, whatever the outcome is, but you serve your God.
Right.
But the fact that she has to ask that question, what do you identify first, mean there's a void in this religion that you trying to fill. And it's not fulfilling your spirit.
Yeah.
It doesn't give you clarity on who you are and what your purpose is because you're trying to see who you identify as and what. So like
like that's so right. I like now if I could tell you, but Cap, I don't know if as Kahan was talking, I remember me and Nathak, we some night we up talking later, probably a year or two into America, and I tell Nathak, I was like, this is a place where by the time you realize what the fuck is going on, it's too late.
Yeah.
It was such a culture shock for North America, where it's like, okay, here you had to be up on it as soon as it dropped. Because if you're not up on it, by the time you realize what's going on, it's too, you know it. It's just you know what's coming now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's so that's why I laughed when you said it. I was like, boy, that's a very true statement. It's a very, very true statement with that thing in it. That's sister, she in hell. And anybody else who's like that, who has an identity crisis. You have an identity crisis going on with who you are as a person, your racial background. The UPK can help you with that. All you gotta do is call the ISUPK in the city nearest you. It's called the UPK in the city nearest you. We'll work that whole thing out for you. We'll unplug you from the matrix.
That's right.
We'll unplug you from the matrix. We'll show you what's real and what's what's not. We'll show you everything and give you the proof, give you the support, give you everything you need to stand up now in reality, because you're living in something false. You're living in something totally false when you could look at yourself in the mirror every day. You could look at yourself in the mirror. You talk black. You walk black. The music you listen to, the food you eat is black. Your name is black. You laugh at black humor and comedy, which is unique in itself. But somehow you can readily identify with something you believe you are. We are a people who are, we grope in the noonday for madness, like what Deuteronomy says.
That's right.
Strike thee with madness, and thou shalt grope in the noonday. You grope around at night, feeling for shit because there ain't no light. We in the middle of the day still feeling around for shit. Can't figure shit out.
That's right, Cal.
They in DC right now trying to figure out who gonna be the next mayor. The Democratic Party don't have a candidate to put up against the next one to run. We are people who just don't know what the hell is going on when the lights is on.
Yeah.
Furthermore, when the lights is off, God damn.
That's right.
It's a betrayal to yourself. Imagine you don't know if you're black. That is betrayal to yourself.
Right.
Thank the Lord for the truth. I don't even want to know what the fuck that feels like. Imagine. Go ahead, Sako. What's up here, brother?
So if I could, what you was bringing out was so heavy, and that to make it back full circle, that's what's coming to the Iranians.
Damn.
That's what's coming to these other nations. Like they thought they had an identity. They thought they were secure in their beliefs and in what their whole society was built on.
Right.
But it's being flipped on its head right now. And by the time they figure out what's happening, it'll be too late.
Yeah.
By the time they figure out, oh, you mean the whole time when they was in the streets protesting and they had the cigarettes with the Ayatollah burning, that was just make-believe? That was propaganda? You mean it isn't wonderful for women to be sexually liberated in America? You mean there's women that's going to bed with no man at night because they're whores and nobody wants them, nobody accepts them? You mean there's men who, Salakia, look at them. I mean, the men outside the ISUPK, I don't know what's going on. I'm on this thing called Threads, Cap.
Yeah.
I've never seen so many men begging for vagina, but not in like a please with the women that type of way, but in just a like, where's all the good submissive women that want to, and it's like, nigga, they're just not on the internet reading your sorry ass posts. They're everywhere. You just got to be a man and go get them. Right. Submissive women that not looking for your weak ass because you're asking where they at. It's like, and for me being in the truth is so backwards, and like, my nigga, they're everywhere. All you got to do is just go out and present yourself as a man. They'll come flock to you.
Yep.
The women are waiting. They on the internet begging, for men, and they at the bar, they outside, but you can't talk to them. You scared to go say what's up. Oh man, these women, they be disrespectful, man. They be mean, niggas. So what? You can't take a rejection,
right?
God damn, you go to the gym, you try to lift the 20 pounds, and you can't lift the 20. Get 15, my nigga, and do some reps till you build yourself up. You going out there shooting? I mean, Salaki, y'all gotta slow me down. But you gotta put in some work, brother. You gotta practice. You gotta build yourself up to be the man that you desire to be, so the women that desire that type of man will find you. The reason why you're not getting those women now is because you are not that guy. And you have to accept that and just say, you know what? I got to do more work on myself. I got to become more of a man. Of course, the answer is coming to the ISUPK, but you haven't found your way in the truth yet. The art of being a man is figuring it a way out. All of us before we came into the truth. We figured a way out. Through grade school, through dealing with Esau society, through trying to get a job and get some money. It's called trial and error. You go and you present yourself, it don't work, back to the drawing board. I come up with another way. And it seems like men have lost that. They've lost the art of being a man. You got to figure it out. You got to do what you got to do. But so many are just reduced to on the internet just crying, wah, wah, and it's like, but you will stay right in that place you at on the internet crying and begging and never getting the things that you desire, because as a man, you have to go get things in life.
Right.
You have to make things happen. And then most importantly, you got to get the Lord on your side so that he can show you how to become the man that he needs you to be. Like the scriptures the thing that changed my life coming into the ISUPK is that, you know, I learned that all of the things that was failing in my life was a reflection of who I was. And I was not the man that I needed to be in order to have things to go my way. When I gave my life to the Most High and I dedicated my life to becoming who the Lord called me to be, it wasn't easy. It wasn't overnight. Captain was shocking him to tell you how many times they had to check me about little bitch ass stuff that I was doing that I thought was cool. I thought I was just that nigga.
No, there's three other captains. There's two other captains on the street. He called my name. So because you are a big old nasty
no, don't do that.
I check everything. I don't never praise nobody. I'm getting tired of your painting me as this old big ass fucking scary ass motherfucker. I can't defend myself back. Why did you say that?
Salaki, sir.
Listen, I know what. Listen, Salaki. Hold on. Carry on with the story. I know. He still don't call me name.
This is what in my memories. This is what used to happen. Y'all would have a mini council, and then Captain Mashak would be the one that emerged from the mini council. And be like, "Sock, let me talk to you right quick." If it wasn't General Katham, it was Captain Mashak. Was getting Mashak. You got to go handle that. And listen. After years of growing and learning and being taught those lessons and becoming a man that was more a reflection of what I needed to be in the ISUPK, I understand now that Captain Mashak, in being that man that we needed him to be, that wasn't even really who he was. Like he had to be in a position to check brothers and to watch over brothers and to build brothers up. When really there's a brother that want to kick it and, you know, laughing and chilling. But in order to help men become who they needed to be, he had to be that father figure. He had to be that big brother. He had to be the one to let you know, man, do this and do that. And I thank the Lord for it, because without it, everything I continued to do would have just continued to be failure. You know what I'm saying? And so there's a lot of brothers, a lot of men and outside in the world, and they're figuring that they're failing at a lot of things, and they're wondering why things won't go my way. They're looking at society and seeing how it's falling and the path that we were all given and told, if you do this and do that, you'll get success here and there. They're bumping into walls. They're reaching ceilings, and they're like, man, I did what I was told to do. I did what I was supposed to do. I got the money. I got the nice clothes. The women still don't want me. It's because you're not the man that the Lord called you to be. If you want to fix those things in your life, if you want to wonder why you want to stop bumping up against those ceilings and stop reaching those, you know, end of the roads in your life that has nothing at the end of it, man, you got to give your life to the Lord and become who he called you to be. Same thing for you sisters. There's a lot of sisters, man, they done got themselves educated. They put their career first. Forget a family, forget a man, forget dating and all of that. Now they 36 years old with 2 degrees and no man, no kids. They flexing on the internet like, yeah, I'm 36 with no kids. Like, that's a flex. It's not the flex you think it is. What it shows is that you've been able to succeed at a lot of things except for keeping a man.
Yeah.
Which is rough because we out here. And we good men building families and raising children. You can't find one. That's a reflection that there's a malfunction somewhere. But then you go out here and you keep meeting men who don't know how to talk to you, don't know how to be a man. Well, then maybe you need to give your life to the Lord, sis, and become the woman the Lord called you to be. And you could attract a righteous man into your life that'll deal with you and teach you something and check you when you're wrong. A lot of these women know that they wrong, know that they all messed up, and they want a man that cares enough and man enough to say, who you talking to like that, shorty? Watch your mouth. I'm not that guy. Hey, I don't know who you used to talking to, who you used to dealing with, but around here, you're going to have to respect and do this and that. These women need that so much and know that they need it. And when they don't get it from a man, they turned off. You brothers out here being soft and suckers and trying to be, you know, in touch with your feminine side, wondering why the woman don't want to listen to you, because you're being everything that she knows a man can't be if she going to be with him. She'll walk all over you, chew you up, and spit you out. She's not dealing with you because you're not man enough. You got to learn how to be a man, and the only way you're going to do that is to come into the ISUPK and the Commanding General Yahanna and find your identity. You finna watch the white man tear down and deconstruct the identity of entire nations who have histories and cultures and languages all the way back to the Persians. Them Iranians got a rich culture. The white man finna reduce their women to whores and cheeseburger eaters, and their men are going to be, on the internet, on Pornhub, losing their testosterone. And in 30 years, they're going to look at the Iranian nation and be like, damn, why is all these sodomites and these LGBTQs over here? Because the white man, the way that we avoid that and the way that we erase all of that from our society and reestablish ourselves as the people that the Lord called us to be is to come into the ISUPK and Commanding General Yahanna and learn how to be who the Lord called you to be. Reclaim your identity, man. The Lord called us to be kings and priests and princesses and daughters of Zion in this earth. But because of following the white man and because of the destruction that he's put down on us, we've allowed ourselves to be reduced to something that is unrecognizable to the Lord and to man.
That's right.
This here is about us, putting the call out to brothers and sisters to come back home and serve the Lord, man. Salaki, sir, I yield.
Yep.
All right. Okay, can I say one thing? I want to say one thing.
Before you jump there, I just want to say there was no council ever involved.
I know.
It was just on one accord. So you going everywhere. You're just getting checks from everywhere. It might seem like a that's not
sir.
I have to say it because there's young men who might think the same thing. There's some young brother, some young sister is like, I bet they're talking about me, and I'm gonna get the call. I'm gonna get checked.
Salaki, sir. I'm glad you cleared the air. Salaki, sir.
No, I just want to say, man, with Captain Soccer War bringing out, man, it's definitely, when you think about the ISUPK, everybody needs like a big brother. You know what I'm saying? And I could say, Captain Mashak, Captain Athak definitely were big brothers to me, you know what I'm saying, and guide me in the right direction. And to be honest, I'll just tell you, I never understood manhood until I understood brotherhood.
That's right.
And that's the thing, you can't have manhood without brotherhood, and that's one thing that what I'm saying, being with those brothers, man, and all the lessons I learned and things that I got taught, and it made me a better man. You know what I'm saying? That's what's so beautiful about the UPK. You can have brothers like Captain Mashak and Captain Athak over you. You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful thing because they're not going to allow you to be weak. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's all I want to say. So I yield.
Listen, I just want to say something. Y'all don't get caught up with Kahan and his politically correct tone of voice. When Kahan don't eat nice, I'm going to tell you straight off the dog. Kahan don't eat nice. Them brothers who coming up under Kahan, they know it full hand. They know that can out of one can means all the way from the K to the last end. as Kahan bringing out, like that's how we just get raised. That's it puts you in a different perspective, a different light, a different and you grow in it because you know that you're black. You know that you're a black man, Latino man, and the men raising you are black men and Latino men, and there's no conflict of identity or conflict of interest. There's no. Well, the Christian side of me wants this, but the black side of me wants that. This is a brother to a brother. And that brother or sister, it encompasses all. The cultural aspect, the religious aspect, quote unquote religious aspect is I'm gonna say. The whatever it is, it's all in one. Like there's no conflict of identity, which is why these religions fail. Because there's always a conflict of identity. And you can't, do the black thing. You feel guilty to do the black thing, but inspired to do whatever you believe you're in. And people believe in Scientology and, atheism and worshiping a cabbage and worshiping the fruit and worshiping everything else, but you can't be black. Don't call me nigga. It's mental illness. It's an absolute mental illness.
So like it, sir.
Come on, because
and then on that point, it's heavy because Elon Musk, like he just called for all white people to have oneness in mind in that regard. Like this, he put a tweet out that said white people have to come together. There's something along those lines. It's a tweet with Elon Musk. He put it out, and he was calling on all whiteness, like regardless of what your religion is, regardless of what you believe or where you stand in the country, like they are able to put that, at the forefront. And it's like we made to feel ashamed and we gotta hide our blackness. And right here, white men become slavery. If white men become a minority, we will be slaughtered. Remember, if non-whites openly hate white men while white men hold a collective majority, then they will be 1,000 times more hostile and cruel when they are a majority over whites. White solidarity is the only way. And then he said something else, but pretty much like they're able to have a oneness in mind in putting their race first. And it's
Right.
in the UPK has given me that, and all the brothers and sisters in here, and it's a freeing thing. The Bible says in James, the book of James, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways.
Right.
And being in the UPK and the home of the truth, giving us that oneness of mind, it frees you, because at the end of the day, in any situation, this will always take precedence. And it's such a beautiful thing to have, because it makes everything very easy. It's like, well, this takes precedence. Just like for white people, a Democrat and Republican can hate each other, but we get in a certain situation, them white people gonna fall back to the oneness of, okay, but this is a white brother.
Yeah.
This is this is what it is. That's how the Confederate and the Union was. There's a famous picture where a Confederate soldier and a Union soldier were sitting next to each other, and they had a little black boy sitting on the ground like a servant. And it proves that they were fighting and killing each other, but they both agreed you belong on the ground underneath them. And so it's like we should have that oneness of mind, and that's what the Bible provides, that oneness in mind, one body, one faith, one baptism, one Lord. That's what it's all about, the truth, the brotherhood. Like it.
If I could, sir, real quick, I'll be quick. As Officer Kazak was reading that quote from Elon Musk about if white men become a minority, how they'll be slaughtered, right? All I could hear is everyone finding me will slay me. That's all I could hear.
Absolutely.
As he's saying that. I mean, and that's just, he has to do what he has to do because he knows he is the fugitive on the earth. And people have a legit beef with him. So he has to remain in power. Or else he knows that the Iranians, everybody is going to turn on him and want to hold him accountable for the evil he's done on the earth. Salakia.
Right. Yep. And that whole thing about dating minority is a goddamn lie.
Yeah.
They no how they were the majority, but now the minority is a lie. They were always the minority.
Right.
Because Esau is is the smallest amongst everybody. Like he think he's the majority now. He think he's losing something when really it's like you everybody went through this where you at a certain age, everybody's the same height. And then you come back from summer and this nigga, you looking up at this nigga now. And then as time go on, everybody's still looking at him dead in the face because he done caught up. Is it that he was, a giant all the time, or is it just the perception of it with age or whatever? It's the perception of it. The majority Esau has is what the Lord allowed him to develop with his, military might and his stealing and robbing. But now that the falling away has happened, he's getting to realize the seat he's been in, he's not really in charge like he think he is. He's not really as powerful as he think he is. So to him, it's like he's losing something. He's fallen from a majority, but you were never a majority. You were never ever that. You look in history, I mean, you trying to tell me you were more people than China?
Right.
You more people than the Russians. You mean the Russians and all? You could put all of them together, but brother, the whole of Africa is more populated than everybody else. Than him. You put the 12 tribes together. You can't look at us and think you the majority.
Right.
You Esau. You the smallest among the nations in more ways than one. So they lie to themselves. They themselves suffer identity crisis.
Right.
Are they a white man or are they Christian? Or are they the same thing?
Right.
And And if I could jump in there, what the scriptures even say, the pride of thine heart have deceived thee.
Right.
Oh, that dwelleth carelessly in the rocks.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? With your habitation on high. Like you're right when you say that. Because even when you look now, a lot of these nations, you look at their cities, they call it the global south. You know what I mean? Which is like Africa, South America, the Philippines, those, all them type of places. And their technology is on par, or some of them even more advanced than what we got in the States, what we got in America. They got cities, they got electricity, they got internet. I just found out Kenya is doing big things. They got, big, huge trade deals going on and advanced cities, and it's tourism, and it looks nice, and skyscrapers and all that. So a lot of these countries are catching up, and with so much internet and videos and technology, Esau can't do stuff like he used to go to a little country, tear it up, do whatever he can, and hardly nobody would know.
Right.
Maybe a small news story, but people would barely see it or notice it or believe it. Now he can go to any country, do anything, and it's like everybody see it, everybody's scrutinizing it, everybody's checking it out, seeing exactly what happened, why it happened, questioning him on it. And he's like, hold on, how y'all questioning my moves? You know what I mean? I used to, I used to move around here and nobody noticed. But now y'all all, why you worried about me? Nigga, we been worried about you. We just ain't know what you was doing. Now we seeing it in HD, in 2K, 4K.
That's right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So like the scripture said, the man of sin be revealed.
Exactly. Yeah. It's the falling away of things now. So he having his Wizard of Oz moment. Where now we see him behind that we realize that you not that thing that you claim you was. You're really not that. You're really not that thing that you claim you was, and you think you was up on high, but really, you might seem on high when everybody laying down prostrate. People are standing up. Now these bones, can these bones live?
That's right.
Well, these bones is living, and you think your race is in danger. Your race is in danger. But just the thought of us being alive.
That's right.
Standing up and having some sort of not even making a whole other society and raging war. Just having self-esteem and an identity means your race is in danger. How weak and fragile you are. How weak and fragile your world must be. For the point when these bones, these dry bones start living, you're losing your nation, you're losing your life, you're losing sports. You're losing. Listen, it shocked me the other day, brother, and I shouldn't be shocked. I was so ashamed of myself after. I found out that Shadur Sanders, some coach made some call that he would not be the first round draft pick or something like that. They moved him down 4 or 5 places.
To the 5th round, so like 100 something places.
So they moved him down to the 5th round pick, right? So that just because of who he was, and he had a father that believed in him, and he was a good, wholesome brother that come into play the sport. They wanted him. It wasn't enough that he, they just couldn't see him in that light anymore. They had to do something. Like, imagine being that threatened by somebody who is not trying to threaten you. This boy get up on the damn thing. They ask him about the coach. He's like, why are you putting all this negativity? We trying to win here. Talking about his coach, who's a total fool. But he said, why are you asking me that? That's a divisive question. You're trying to divide the team. You mean to tell me you threatened by him? Like, brother, this white man is fragile as they come out. Fragile as they come. And thanks be to the Lord, we are the truth where we fully understand it and know it.
Right.
Without it, you sit there and ask yourself why. And you know what you would do? You know what you would do to yourself when you ask yourself why? You would blame being black. And you'd have an identity crisis.
That's right. That's right, Cap. So
go ahead.
If I could, and they pushing. I know down south. I don't know if they're going in other states. I know they pushing that end of DEI stuff down here, and they got a governor down here that says that, you know, we just want to focus on merit. We want the best candidate for the job. Focus on merit, right? So it's no more. So you mean to tell me you're gonna get rid of all the nepotism that you got going on in these small towns?
Right.
Where the judge is married to the sheriff, and the sheriff's sister is the city clerk, and all you bet some of these southern towns is basically ran by one family or two. All of the federal positions and all of the state positions are ran by a family or people that know that family.
That's crazy.
And you want to act like this is a meritocracy? This is not a meritocracy.
That's
because
right.
you have sisters and brothers who are educated. Now, the application, the application says you have to have this degree, you have to have this years of experience. They check all the boxes, and after they check all the boxes, you say you're just not a good fit.
Yeah.
Or after they check all the boxes, or you overqualified. This is not a goddamn meritocracy. It's
That's right.
and if it is, whose merit are we following?
Right.
Whose merit? Who sets the standard? There ain't no getting around this. Like Captain Mashak said, there's a falling away.
Yeah.
And it's not like it used to be. You know what I'm saying? This place here is getting ready to go because people see behind the curtain. Like Captain Mashak brought out. I yield.
Yeah.
So like, if I could, and you know what y'all bringing out super heavy, and it goes back to the, you know, at the end of the day, what's being revealed to the earth is what the ISUPK been saying since 1969. Like, there's 18 nations on the earth, and of them 18 nations, there's gonna come a time where everybody is going to return back to their own people. And what that Elon Musk is signaling in that post is that white people, we got to put aside our petty differences. We got to put aside our liberalism and our, you know, our conservatism. We got to put aside our, you know, our Italian and German and French and all of this. This is a thing about who's going to rule the earth. And one thing that we should have learned about our oppressor is he is not going to give up his kingdom and hand it to anybody. The white man is not going to destroy his kingdom and say, here, black people, y'all can have it, or here. Right now, all these moves Donald Trump is making in Venezuela and in Greenland, it's about white people and the Chinese. And he's saying, they blatantly saying, we are not giving the earth over to the Chinese. If we don't take Greenland, Russia or China going to get it. So guess what, Greenland? Somebody got to get it. We going to take it. You know what I'm saying? With, you know, with Venezuela, like he's like the cat, Miller Cat stood up there and said, we're not going to let our enemies come and take this land and this land be given to benefit our enemies and not benefit us. We're going to take it. The white man sees that at this moment, this is a battle for survival in his mind, because and their fear that they have is a palpable fear, and it's a due fear, because they know how much cruelty they've done on the earth. And so they know that if we don't stay in power, that the revenge that is going to be enacted on us, they are definitely afraid of it. Like a warrior said, it's Cain with the every man that see me is going to slay me. When a white man sees that he's beginning to be seen, and as he's beginning to be seen, these other nations are saying, well, listen, we got to do something about these people, because in their bloodthirst, they are going to kill or be killed, and we can't let them continue to rule over us. So that fear of, you know, China and Russia getting the oil from Venezuela, or China and Russia being able to, you know, dominate the Arctic North, like Captain Kapacha brought out, they talk about the global South, where right now the fear is global warming is melting them ice caps up north. Right. And as those ice caps melt, that Russia has a ton of water north of it that's Arctic. And usually in the wintertime, it'll melt, it'll freeze, and they can't really move their boats freely. But now that the global warming is hitting, the winter ain't wintering like it used to. That freezing water ain't freezing like it used to. So now that means Russia and China have a clear path through the Arctic North to come over through the Atlantic and do trade with Africa and Asia and South America and all these other places. And the white man is realizing it and saying, well, we're going to take Greenland, we're going to annex, we're going to get the because the Panama Canal damn near don't even matter no more if they can just leave from Russia and go north past Europe and come down to the Atlantic. And so all of these moves that they're pulling right now, this Empire Strikes Back type maneuvering that they're doing, is because they see that if they don't do something now, it's going to be too late for them to bully everybody like they used to, and they're afraid that once they can't bully everybody, then everybody is going to fall on them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So like,
yeah,
absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
That's a lot, Cap. I noticed in that quote it just said white men. It said
No.
white. Is there any place for Renee Good?
No.
I just want to know, because see, and this is the thing, and see, white women got to pay attention to this type of stuff. I don't know they understand what's going on. You know what I'm saying? He's specifically, he ain't saying white people.
Exactly.
White men.
Mm-hmm.
So it lets you know how they operate. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Renee Good was a victim of white supremacy.
Exactly.
And we have to talk about it. We got to talk about it. And nobody gonna talk about it like the UPK.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And the truth is, we know what we're saying is the truth, because there's white people who agree with Commander General Yahanna.
Yeah.
Yep.
There white people who, you know what, Commander General Yahanna was right all along.
Yeah.
It took Renee Good for me to see it. But you know what? Y'all been right. So there you have it.
Yeah.
So
You're right.
I
I was bringing that out in class earlier, that the white woman has no place in white supremacy. She has absolutely no place in white supremacy. She gonna find out once they perfectly AI door. Once that AI door reaches perfection,
oh my goodness.
that AI doll, I'm trying to tell you, that doll reached perfection. Sally and Karen is out the door. Gone.
Michelle.
Come on, Cap, please.
I'm gonna go one up on you. That happening right now. Why think they ain't having babies?
You see?
You understand? They haven't, you know what I mean? They haven't, you know what I mean, the thing with those boys. Let's see the Epstein files. You don't think his woman. You know what I mean? You think it has some boys in there too. They ain't talking about that.
Listen, we might have to slide straight to Bill on them with that one, Cap. I think you do. I think you introduced them right in.
Yeah.
I had to talk like the Wheel of Fortune. The Clintons, come on down. Music. They run on down the aisle. Come on, man. Let's cue up Bill. I think now I go and finish and then
go ahead, Cap.
So and one thing too, put up that little clip you had with the writing. There's something in that writing right there that stuck out.
The same thing with Elon Musk?
With the white men.
Okay, hold on.
Because that clearly lets you know that he's Esau. You know what I mean? And he ain't just Esau. He go all the way back to Cain.
Right.
He's saying what? If white men become a minority, will be slaughtered. Who gonna slaughter? Why is saying gonna be slaughtered?
You're right.
Right.
Why is saying they're gonna be slaughtered? That's all like a fugitive talking.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? That's all like a fugitive talking.
Yeah.
Because they know they done been evil to people in this. They know they've been evil to people in this place.
That's right, Cap. That's right.
They know they've been evil to people in this place. And they know that one day, if people do rise above them, it's gonna be a sad day.
Mm-hmm.
And that this is like what they call a dog whistle for white men, for the white society. You understand? This is the same thing they've been saying all the way back. Look at that book. Look and see when that book came out. From Ben Wattenberg, that Burt Dirt. They always been talking about being minorities, and that's always been the case where now that brings them together to somehow come and oppress nations.
1987, Cap.
1987. They've been talking about that years now.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? They've been worried about being a minority years now. And that's just an excuse to come and deal with the Hispanics and Blacks and First Nation people evil. You understand? And the Bible ain't lying. That's why the Bible is the most sought after book on the planet. Why? Because the Bible told you Esau was going to live by the sword.
Yeah.
Not by his brain, not because he have all the knowledge, he could make his sonic weapons. You understand?
Right.
But by the sword.
Yeah.
You understand? He ain't, you realize ain't no politics going on right now. You getting called to a meeting, lo and behold, you know what I mean? They're setting you up to unalive you.
Yeah.
You understand? To go to war with you. And you like a dummy walking in. Well, the city, this Saudi Arabia dude, what's his name? Forget his Saudi Arabia king.
The prince?
Prince.
Mm-hmm.
They say he is brutal too. He see you call it to a meeting and you ain't doing right. Oh, you ain't going back home.
Salman.
You're not going back home.
Mohammed bin Salman.
Yeah, he say he invite 50 of them men. Remember, there's a war going on right now with the RSF people in Sudan who is being held up by the UAE.
Okay.
And Saudi Arabia recently bombed a shipment of weapons that was going to them. And they full out Saudi Arabia tell them, man, come. About 50 of them come to our meeting. Nobody can't reach them right now. Yeah. That's just show how, you know what I mean, how brutal this place, you know what I mean, fitting to be.
My cool cap knows you saying it's so heavy, and you know what? And Donald Trump, it didn't stop Donald Trump from unwrapping that Saudi Arabian Christmas gift that he got this past Christmas.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? From the Saudi Arabia. Like they pick who they wanna chastise, man. They look the other way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Dollar sign make them look the other way, man. Man, this thing is gonna get it's gonna get crazy. It's gonna get crazy out here, man. So
yeah.
That's heavy.
You could pull up Hilary. Because I realize America getting fully distracted from this. Nobody talking about this Epstein file right now.
Yeah, I tell you. Listen, Cap, I was looking for the story with that Saudi Arabian. I remember there was some World Cup, could be over 20 years ago, where that Saudi Arabian team went and get hammered. Everybody hit them like 8-5. I mean, them niggas get hammered out. The story was when them niggas reached back to Saudi Arabia, they put them in a room and beat them under their foot.
Yeah, on
the stomach and beat them on the soles of their feet where they couldn't walk for weeks. Some shit like that. I don't know what the bad thing is, but there's a lot of stories of how them Saudis deal with people who, embarrass them. And it's rough. Bust their ass. Like, when niggas come to their first World Cup, never see them niggas doing with the ball. I mean, they was getting hammered out. Saudi Arabia was the team for points. If you just want points to make it wrong, that's so they say them men go back home and all the bends that they got for qualifying for the World Cup, all that shit gets stripped. And then
I remember that shit.
Niggas get
remember that shit.
The story got to have some truth in it. If Sack G hear about this shit. Yeah, I mean,
I'm telling you. Like, they don't understand.
So yeah, we could pull up. Let's pull up Bill and Hilary, the two, the snitches, the informants that they don't want to inform.
As we get the story, sir, if I could just bring this out, like you said, everybody distracted with all of the moves that's being made with all this war talk. There's a video surfacing around the internet now. I've only been able to see it because somebody sent me the link. So basically, it's a YouTube video that's unlisted. You can only see it if you got the link, but it's this Edomite who was in Esau's military talking about how he was a victim of sexual assault personally by Donald Trump and these other rich cats that's involved in these Epstein files, and how the way that it came out was a staff sergeant in his military unit in the army had his computer confiscated, and the computer had child pornography on it.
Damn.
And among the images in the child pornography was the cat. And he said that his superiors brought him in and was like, told him what happened. They confiscated the computer, and they said they seen some images of a young boy and they think it might be him. And he said he had to tell them that, yes, when I was a child, I was, sexually assaulted. My mother and father were on drugs and abused me, and then he got put in foster care. I haven't been able to vet it to find out if it's accurate, so I haven't done anything as far as posting it. But there's a video out there. It's about 1 hour and 30 minutes. It's blown up on TikTok. If you just go on TikTok and just put Epstein Files victim military officer, everybody been seeing this video. But I had two people send it to me personally. I haven't been able to see it outside of that. So it's shadow banned on YouTube. You go Google it, you're not gonna find it. If you search it on Facebook or Instagram, you're not gonna find it. But on TikTok and on YouTube, I got the link. I can send it out after we get done with this. But there's a video surfacing where a lady does an interview with a cat, and he says, "Yeah, man, he goes into detail about Donald Trump, about how he with the boys was a horrible thing." And they're saying that this is one of those things that they desperately trying to stop from coming out with the whole full release of the Epstein file.
Yeah, so do me a favor and don't send that to me. That's the last. Brother. Don't send that shit to me at all. I got two computers here. I search too much. I pull up too much Google images. They close the whole Google off and put up the capture up there. We have reason to believe this is a robot. Please click this box. Not to know that. You remember plenty times we on here and I can't search nothing. Don't say nothing about suspected trouble. I'm less than 2 miles away from the White House and the FBI headquarters. I don't know that shit right now. Coming knocking down this door here. I'm just trying to tell you. I'll let y'all tell the story.
God.
Yeah, man. So what are we talking about though?
Con, this is the Hillary and Bill Clinton story, sir.
Please,
Bill and Hillary Clinton released letter refusing to testify in congressional Epstein probe.
Yikes.
Every person has to decide when they have seen or had enough and are ready to fight for this country, the couple writes. Former President Bill Clinton and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton released a letter Tuesday stating their refusal to testify in the House's Jeffrey Epstein probe and directly challenging Republican leader James Comer. At the top of the lengthy letter, which was shared Tuesday on X and sent to Comer, the Clintons used the ICE-led crackdown on immigration, the January 6 pardons issued by Donald Trump, the deployment of the National Guard in multiple U.S. cities, the indictments issued against Trump's public political enemies, and even the recent killing of 37-year-old Renee Nicole Good by an ICE agent in Minneapolis last week to create an all-encompassing portrait of the Trump administration's legally dubious moves over the past year. Every person has to decide when they have seen or had enough and are ready to fight for this country, its principles, and its people, no matter the consequences, the Clintons wrote, painting their opposition against Comer as a stand against the Trump administration. For us, now is that time. The letter comes after months of Comer, the chairman of the House Oversight Committee, pressuring the Clintons to participate in closed-door depositions in front of Congress relating to the House's ongoing Jeffrey Epstein investigation. In response to the Clintons' letter Tuesday, Comer told reporters he would be taking the steps necessary to hold them in contempt of Congress. Jeffrey Epstein visited the White House 17 times while Bill Clinton was president, Comer noted Tuesday. No one's accusing Bill Clinton of anything, any wrongdoing. We just have questions. Comer's
Bill is like, yeah, I told that to a few niggas before, and I know they're going to he said, well, nobody's accusing you of anything. We just got questions. Yeah, what do you think? I'm stupid?
But y'all know the whole thing with Monica Lewinsky and him, right?
Come on, bring it all. I think you were talking about it before. Bring it all, Cap.
They said it's the small hats on them, right? How does I think it's either his phone tapped or the woman phone tapped, and they were trying to blackmail him and tell him they had to give up one of their people This is the dude who basically was what I call them people, boy, like a spy who was working for the small hats and gave them the info for certain things they was doing, and he was serving time in jail, America.
Which dude is this? Coma?
No. This is a small hat dude. I forget his name.
Okay.
But you can look him up. The Israelis that they wanted to hand over. They wanted back. I forget what he was doing. Like he was giving the Israeli, feeding them info on either the nuclear program or I forget what it was. And he was in jail. And small hats tell Clinton, yo, give him up or this is going to come out. We have it. We have you on tape. You understand? And held him, That's why Epstein could be, he all up in it. So the questions they would have for him, it's they don't know he lying from what he's saying.
So, listen, Cap, I as you talk about it there, I done found Salaka, 1 second. Hello, Wapadia, Barack.
Yeah, about
Yeah, but smell shabak the thumb, what hocking. I'm knocked out. You know what I'm saying?
We just rocking on this Lewinsky story here. So not Lewinsky, Bill Clinton and Hillary. Talk. But as Dantag was talking about, the Jewish man had a part to play in it. I just want to know if Monica Lewinsky is Jewish. And she is Jewish.
I mean, the last name Lewinsky.
I ain't never put the whole thing together.
Yeah, but
set him up.
Like that's that old Polak or whatever that shit is.
God. They fully set him up. Like they say, daughters from the Jewish family, German roots, all that whole thing. So they for sure definitely set him up and was blackmailing him, like what Nathak is saying.
Yeah, that was a rough one there.
Come on.
Yeah, man. And now I heard she don't want to cooperate with the Epstein files.
Yeah. Who, Lewinsky or Hillary?
No, Hillary.
Yeah.
She don't want to cooperate with that shit. Who knows what the fuck she was doing down there? And what the fuck? Who knows what pictures they got of that shit?
Yeah, man.
So,
listen, Angelo, they would say how black and Latino people, we have a stupid rule: no snitching. And it's not to we need to help the community, help the cops, help the community. But look at when they're ready. When it comes to them, they write a whole letter just to say they're not going to talk. So when they're ready, they could apply the same rules.
Yeah. I mean, it's a stupid ghetto rule in this respect. We don't go around snitching, period. But a lot of people doing a lot of crime against people in the hood and expecting that person to just take the garbage that a lot of brothers and sisters is doling out. Right. The Most High gonna catch up with all this crime. You know what I'm saying? None of this shit is getting away. I've been saying it for the longest. Like, I'm horrified at the things that I hear brothers in the world be doing. And I also know what that scripture saying. I believe it thoroughly when the Lord said, whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Right. You know what I'm saying? And then if you really want to get real raw with it, you go back and look at what happened during the time of Christ compared to how we treated the disciples during the time of Christ. You know what I'm saying? Like we sit up there and let Caiaphas and crucify the one man that could have got us up out that hell. We didn't even bend our ear to any radical brother who was trying to wake us up. We didn't even bend our ear to that. We were so fucking brainwashed by the Romans, we didn't even want to hear that shit. And as a result, that brother got killed and so many disciples lost their lives over that shit. And so then what did the Lord do? Sure enough, we didn't get away with that shit. 70 AD, Titus surrounded Jerusalem. We was eating our leather girdles and leather sandals. That shit was just punishment for the evil shit we did. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the Lord saying, oh, you don't want to listen to my son who I sent here to deliver y'all? And you know what he's saying is right? And he's strengthening your spirit, but you just adamantly against it because you think you're going to be successful kissing the Romans' ass? No problem. I'm going to let you see what the Romans going to do to you. And sure enough, we were starving so much. Y'all know the story in the Apocrypha. In the Josephus, we were starving so much that we resorted to eating our own babies.
Right.
Like the Lord is angry like a motherfucker with you if he bring you to the point where you eating your own babies. You can best believe he mad as a mother at your ass. You know what about it? Like you ain't never seen. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I mean? The same gonna happen now. Every bag of dope we sold, every nigga we shot over a corner, every woman we done raped or made sleep with a pit bull just for the amusement of us and our friends. You know what I mean? Every gang we joined just to shoot up the fucking neighborhood. Every crime, every sin we done did, especially the motherfucking preachers. Like, them preachers got a horrible day coming. And now with all this killing getting ready to stir up in the earth, now is the time where a cat should be afraid to get on the wrong side of the Lord. You supposed to be, your eyes supposed to be wide open. Like, wait a minute, is this gonna piss off the Most High? Because he gonna do our ass in the same fucking way. The ones of us that love to get into that sin, you know what I mean? The ones of us that come out that shit, walk with the Lord. Oh, we gonna be good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be just fine. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I yield the water.
If I could, sir. If I could, as we're talking about the Epstein files and everything that's going on, you know, I sometimes I think, what would make the white man want to go into World War III, knowing he's gonna lose everything? And there's a scripture that comes up that says, "Shame shall cover thee." You know, that's the role of the Epstein files. The white man rather go to war than expose how vile he is. I mean, so he's gonna try to hide behind World War III versus facing that Epstein file because his children will see he's a sodomite.
Yes, like he thought he was gonna slaughter the earth and turned around and they done caught him with a rod in his mouth. Fuck the whole game up.
Yes.
And you know the day he cursed out some Ford worker. Cursed him the fuck out. They said they caught that shit. And you know what that shit is? That's stress over this Epstein shit coming out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like don't none of them, even Hilary on the opposite side, she don't want to fuck around and let them files out. They went up on that island. I felt so goddamn safe, away from everything. And they probably was on that island running around naked, man. Sleeping with them kids, and they like went full Roman Caligula.
Yeah.
Sleeping with them kids, sleeping with each other. You know what I mean? Doing every nasty thing they never did when they was back on the States. I mean, back on home on the regular land. Went down there in that old comfortable ass island. He looked so far away. That shit probably felt like Tahiti some fucking way. Them motherfuckers got so comfortable and drinking great drinks. You know the motherfucker was rich. So they had the best drinks, the best clothes, the best massages, the prettiest fucking underage girls. You know what I'm saying? The best food. Oh man, them motherfuckers probably was like, whew, this shit is amazing. And turned around and let the Roman out. They probably ran a train on Hilary. When that shit come out, god damn. You might see Chinese niggas, everything down there that ran a motherfucking diplomatic train on that ass. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what. Who knows what the fuck they was capable of. This bitch might have got off there, man, and said Monica Lewinsky done put that seed on him. This dumb motherfucker, I done got him in the White House. All right, I'm gonna fix his ass. Give me 10 big dick niggas. You know what I'm saying? Epstein sit up there with the goddamn camera taping all the nasty shit going down.
Yeah.
You know, man. Like if you look at Edomites based on what you see, you'll believe these motherfuckers don't never have sex. They look like their children just appear. You know what I'm saying? You don't never see none of them swaddling the kid or holding the kid wrapped up when they have a baby. Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It puts all that shit away. When they get on that fucking island and get comfortable, boy. They let every nasty fucking thing you could think. Probably had animals up on there, all that shit.
Man.
Yeah, man.
Unbridled.
He caught that shit. That shit was worse than Puff Daddy. Man, you catch Hilary or something with a goddamn horse or some shit. You be fucked up. Man. That'll fuck the Democratic Party and fuck up. The motherfuckers look at her in a different light.
Yeah.
Fucking conspiracy theorists would be like, this is that reptilian shit.
Yeah. They have her with a real donkey instead of.
You know what I'm saying? Like these people, man, is the vilest motherfuckers in the earth. And push that shit on every fucking body. Like Muhammad brought out Monday night. He pushed this shit on every fucking body. You know what I mean? Like this cat loves sexual violence.
Right.
And pushing, promoting that shit all over the fucking earth. Kidnapping these kids out by droves. This shit becoming a real fucking thing now.
Yeah.
This whole Pizzagate shit. I mean, this shit is coming a real thing. Like when they start digging the records out, man, all over the world, the Caribbean, all that, on how many of these kids they done snatched up out.
Right.
The number gonna be staggering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And God knows what they doing with them. You know what I mean? It was after that abortion thing where I saw they were selling the different parts, the stem cell, the kidney, the this and that on a little fetus. That means this motherfucker getting maximum dollar for whatever evil shit he does.
Right.
He get the little babies, have sex with them, God knows what, kill them, sell a part. Like he gonna get every quarter that he can get out of that body, just like you do a cow or a pig. You don't leave no part left behind. You get that shit maximum thing. He so even sell the goddamn blood out of the pig. You can buy that shit by the pound. Put in recipes and all type of shit. They don't miss nothing. So, you know what I'm saying? So you could imagine all these babies they kidnap. Anything is possible. You know what I'm saying? I yield, Salakia. John, go ahead, Cat.
That I've been seeing in the comment section where they're talking about, the Epstein, they talking about the Epstein file, but talking about it in conjunction with ICE and everything else that's going on. I keep hearing, I'm seeing a theme in the comment section where they say every accusation is a confession. So they basically saying everything these people are accusing everybody else are doing, everybody else, they're accusing of everybody else, they're actually doing it.
Hey, that shit probably true when it comes to them Democrats.
Yeah.
Kind of won't come.
So what you saying is true.
Yes,
but that shit ain't true when it comes to Issachar. You don't be seeing Issachar doing nowhere near that nasty shit they doing.
Right.
That shit ain't true when it comes to us. But when it comes to them, I ain't surprised. You know, y'all from DC, y'all know what it is. Them conventions come around, boy, the nastiest shit in the world go on. Well, man, you don't even want to walk on the street. The motherfucker seems so sticky in DC during that time. So that shit could be true for them. You know what I mean? Not for us. You know what I mean? Like them Republicans pushing back on them Democrats because them Republicans know that them Democrats got their own super duper nasty shit. You know what I mean? Republicans know they ain't the only one on Grindr buying every little boy in the city. Democrats known for that. All that sodomy. And this motherfucker dressed up like a woman. And this other motherfucker think he a kangaroo or some stupid shit. One motherfucker barking like a dog and shit. Oh, them Republicans, they got their number. These motherfuckers want a third bathroom and all type of shit. Want to go in the bathroom with your kids. And all type of shit. Oh, them Republicans, they ain't slow. You saying is right.
And it's
You
like
know, man.
that's partly why the Democrats ain't fighting as hard as they acting like they pretending like they fight. They ain't fighting
Yeah.
like you said because all of them got dirt on everybody.
Yep.
And they're afraid what they're gonna pull up, especially with Trump being over the FBI and all them other agencies. They worried about what they got on them. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And you ain't lying. Them congressional aides, them they be working with them congressmen up there. Like man, they be up there, living, high off the hog.
Yep.
A high luxury loft apartments and
Yep.
all that. And all they doing is printing papers at Office Depot. Like
That's it.
it's something else going on that you ain't just filing papers,
Yep.
So
Yep.
it's they, and then all the women, all the young women look like supermodels.
Yeah, right. But they do not look like a motherfucker that work in an office.
Right.
They look like a motherfucker that work on the yacht. You know what I mean? That's why they can't do none of the shit they supposed to do.
That's
Like,
right.
you putting these motherfuckers in the office where they got to actually think. They brought this head over Homeland Security. Come on, man. All that bitch is just did doing is putting in them contacts in her eyes and them motherfucking eyelashes on her face. She looks so fucking stupid in that uniform. You know what I'm saying? That's the last fucking thing, man, she need to be doing. Man. But of course, like you so right. I didn't mean to cut you off too, Salaka, please.
No, what you're saying so right, General. Washington D.C. is full of corruption. And, on all the streets, especially down on K Street, it's just like you said. You're just seeing, and when you sit back and really see it, you don't even have to really put your night vision on. You just see it. You have a spirit. You really see what's going on in that city, man. And I was, blessed to be around that city. You know what I'm saying, with the D.C. and just seeing it and learn so much being around General Q and the generals up there, and just seeing it. And when you would have just sit back and see, like, hold on, this don't, that congressional aides, they do more shopping than they do political work.
Yes, they do.
They doing all these different
They're
things.
all in the health store, the dildo store.
Right.
Yeah, man. They all in there.
Down Adams Morgan, having
Yep.
a good time.
Yeah, man.
Where the work getting done? I got a crime bill I'm trying to get past here.
You right. This is crazy, man. The Lord, the world is set. The stage is so beautifully set for the world right now. I mean, it's set for the world in a very, very unique way. And the Lord really, if He decide, boy, well, we should be praying and in supplication and calling on the Most High to step in all the way in on all this shit, because He used His own mouth to say that if He didn't cut the time short through Yahushua, which gives Him that gives Him the card to bail us out anytime He want. Right. Anytime He want, man, he just the same way them motherfuckers flipped the switch and white America just totally turned on us. The Lord could flip a switch and shut white America all the way down. He ain't even got to get us to rise up against them. They could wake up. They could wake up tomorrow morning and have a new thing called the white cold.
Yeah.
Because all laying in the bed can't go to work because something about your white skin that got you sick.
Yep.
So now you calling every nigga that work in your office. Billy, can you get those reports out? Billy in the office, I've ordered 8 pizzas. And he's having the time of his life up in the fucking office because he know your ass can't come in because you sick as a fucking dog. And the Lord could easily switch this shit.
Yeah.
Well, man, we just got to show Him we worthy for Him to step in and do something, because He did magnificently for them people in the past. He did magnificently for people that came out of Egypt that did not love Him, that did not care for Him, did not do for Him. He still did magnificently for them. We need to call on Him and ask Him to do magnificently for us. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Like, don't forget us in His mercies, because the earth is right. You know what I'm saying? For this shit right now. You heard, did y'all hear about Denmark calling on NATO and spinning up troops?
Yes, sir.
They done spun up them damn troops. This is unprecedented. This is the first time in 113 years the two NATO countries went toe to toe with each other. That shit, if war break out, that shit could fracture all NATO.
Yeah.
Because by law, by international NATO written law, all the European countries would have to go up against go up against Trump. That would be legal, and you know they're not gonna want to do that, but they're gonna have to do something, because if they looking like shit, then that's gonna let Russia know and China know we ain't even gotta respect these motherfuckers. So they're gonna be in a rock and a hard place. And the Lord did say, I shall feed thee with thy own flesh.
That's right.
Oh, that shit is significant. I yield, Salakia.
And just to add to what you're saying too, sir, it seems as if NATO was an excuse for America to span all them nations. They definitely was spying on all them nations. You know what I mean?
And if I could, NATO kept the neighborhood safe. NATO kept the whole neighborhood safe on the other side of the river.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And now that NATO's fucked up, if it go there with Trump, which he's very capable of, it could mean the end of NATO, which means the neighborhood is gonna go very bad. Every ethnic motherfucker that's out there, they've been wanting to get down on the other, is gonna be ready to storm up in that shit. No more of them fucking blue hats running around in countries that can't fucking get along. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I mean, those is UN troops, but they basically sent in by NATO. So no more of that shit, which means rivalries is going to reach a fever pitch.
Yes.
Like for the first time in a long time, man is going to realize how fragile he is. With the ability to launch nuclear weapons, man is going to figure out that we is just a fragile fucking dumb animal. We ain't much different than a fucking goat. You know what I'm saying? We done built all this fucking technology, and we about to wipe ourselves the fuck out with it. You know, man, like, they're gonna realize that. Salak, I yield.
And to add to what you're saying too, sir, just imagine, like, these Christians, right? Who said the Old Testament is too bloody? What do you think is fitting to happen to the earth right now?
Yeah.
There's blood fitting to be shed on this earth right now.
So right.
You understand what I'm saying? The Africans fighting, the Arabs fighting amongst each other right now, the white man fighting amongst each other right now. You understand?
Yeah.
Well, let's see if they're gonna say it's white on white crime, Arab on Arab crime. Let's see if they won't call them out on that, because they sat back and watched black people go against each other and made a spectacle of us. You understand? And told us we were the problem.
Right.
Yeah.
When it's clearly seen that the white man is the problem. The one thing with the white man, you mess with his money, it's his problem. And right now, Europe is hurting for cash.
Yeah.
The promises America made for them. They
hurting bad. They said France and another one of them European countries is trying to turn against, is angry as all outdoors at the United States, and they going up against that shit. And see, Trump being a sociopath, he ain't even looking at that. He looking at how much he could get.
Yeah.
He don't give a damn if Europe fall. He don't care if another country. He don't got no sense of, like any person with psychopathy, they don't have no sense of a greater picture. They don't even care about a greater picture. They only have a sense of, what am I getting? You know what I mean? Like, am I on top? Am I gobbling up enough? Am I filling my coffers enough fast enough? They don't have no sense of, well, we need to leave this and that in place because we don't need this to happen, which will cause us much harm down the road. He don't think like that. People with psychopathy don't think like that. They don't think long term. You know what I'm saying? They think short term, my game.
Right.
And that's how he think. And because he think that way, first of all, he's stirring up everybody around him because, of course, they worrying about what he gonna do because he don't have that foresight. So they worrying trying to convey this shit to this motherfucker. Like, you better pay fucking attention. But all he care about is what can I get? He already done threatened Nigeria. Didn't he bomb someplace in Nigeria already?
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember that. So which means either he bluffing or that shit is on the table. Like, and you can even tell the whole vibration on them with all the conflict they want to start in all these countries. That's like a greedy man at a buffet. Like, all he can think about is, yeah, well, look at all this food. He ain't thinking about if you eat too much, you're gonna get a bad ass stomach ache. You know what I'm saying? You eat too much, you're gonna pass the fuck out. He ain't thinking about none of that. All he thinking about is, look at all this food. I want some of everything. You know what I mean? And that's how he thinking. And that shit, that right there, just leads to such a beautiful place that the Lord could bring the world to get ready to bring in Yahushua's kingdom. It would be glorious. Salakia, I yield.
Come. And if I could say one quick thing, what you said is heavy about the Greenland thing or whatnot, because he basically, by just the thought of it and the statements of it, it's already deteriorated the union. You know, imagine you a team and you speak out, man. What if I just take, you know, with one of our players out and just get rid of him and take his position, take his pay, and everybody looking like, huh? What you mean? We supposed to be on the team. Why would you take him out and take his pay? Come on, bro. Especially you, the big bro. You the biggest one on the team.
Right.
Like in the movies where the villain shoot his own henchman to prove a point.
Yes.
So
that's just like that. Yeah, man. And you should have saw when they asked him about this shit. Oh my God. He was like, well, who the hell is Denmark to claim the shit like that? Denmark done had that shit 300 fucking years.
Yeah.
But he act once again, he can't see that. He act like, well, who the hell is Denmark, man, to say that they get to claim it?
Yeah.
I mean, like, we can have it the nice way. Don't ask the people of Denmark nothing. You don't say a fucking word to them. Like, fuck them. They don't matter. What matters is, can I eat this?
Yeah.
There's a motherfucker like this just in a perpetual greedy mode. He in a perpetual, can I eat this? You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck what they feel. Like, just like an animal in the woods, he don't really care about the victim. He just want to eat.
Yeah.
He just starving and he just want to eat. And that animalistic way is what they want to reduce us to. They want our woman to be an animal and want sex every minute. They want our men to be a greedy rapist and criminal and just want to gobble up everything. They want us, and they did it in ancient Egypt, which is why when we got in the wilderness, that we had so little control over ourselves and so little control over our emotions, because that was the state that Egypt drove us to. And America is doing the exact same thing, because that's the state that heathens are in. They pretend to be civilized, but they could not be civilized without us. But we could be civilized without them.
That's
right. You know what I'm saying? Given the chance. And that's him. What you're saying is exactly right. Like he wants to just gobble everywhere. He ain't even gonna say to himself, we don't need to be fighting on too many fronts. Let's calm down. Let's cool out. He don't care about none of that.
No.
He care about none of that. Like, how much of these tariffs I'm gonna get? How much money is it gonna be? And he making more money than he ever did before. He ain't never had an army to go get his money. He know how to get his money now like never before.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And even how he get on the airwaves days after he took Venezuela. And you gonna get on the airwaves and say, yeah, we open for business now. You don't even care. Like what you did is an afterthought.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? That's like somebody coming in and saying, yo, man, you can't eat that. That belongs to somebody else. You like, what? Well, the shit was here on the table, man. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? They're going to have to do something. Make him another one. I don't know. Do something. Like, that's how that's what's in his brain.
Right.
Now, he done ate that shit up over there in Venezuela and then was like, yo, we open for business. And then got pissed off that they ain't jump and say, yeah, let's come on and get in business with you.
Right.
Mad as shit over that shit. You know what I mean? Because every day he get to do that shit, he know Epstein files do not come out. Every day he should have. Every day he able to go in that Oval Office and say we stole some shit, including the headlines. He know them Epstein files ain't never coming out.
Yeah.
You know, man. So Salaki, I hear.
So Salaki, sir, if I
Go ahead, Saka. Go ahead.
He's moving like a man who knows that his days are numbered. He's
Tom.
moving like a cat who he finna he finna pass away, be removed from power, and he's just trying to get as much as he can to say I did what I could while I could. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like all of these. I mean, we went from it's 15 days. We 2 weeks into Esau's so-called New Year.
Yeah.
And the day after New Year's was supposed to be the release of the Epstein files. Here we are 15 days later. He done captured the Venezuelan leader, bombed Nigeria, threatened Greenland, told Denmark, fuck your kingdom. I don't know why y'all think y'all can hold on to some land just because you landed there 250 years. Not even taking into account, that's the American claim to the United States, motherfucker. Y'all landed here 250 years ago and just thought you all the place. Like he's not the happens next doesn't even matter to him. He's like Esau coming out. Nigga, I need to eat that porridge, man. Fuck all that birthright. Oh, nigga, give me some of that right now. I gotta get some or I'm gonna die.
Right.
Tomorrow. And the amazing thing about it is the rest of the white people are following him. It's not like I could see if he was in a vacuum, in a bubble. But we've been saying for years, many presidents, that this cat just a figurehead, man. He ain't the one that actually run the whole thing and pushing the whole buttons. He has Stephen Miller's behind him. He has the Secretary of War behind him. He got all of these other conglomerate of confederacy of devils that are telling him, yes, please push the button, push it forward. Let's go gobble this next and gobble that, as if there's not going to be a day of reckoning. One more thing, like it just came to my mind. It damn near make me think of, remember after World War II, sir, when a lot of them Germans that was down with Hitler, a lot of them cats that was the main cats did not face no international courts. They didn't face no criminal charges. A lot of them got scapegoated and sent down to Argentina. A lot of them disappeared into the Greek islands, and these cats are acting like they're going to gobble their money up and just disappear to Greece somewhere. They find them in the Maldives or in the damn Cayman Islands somewhere with a Mai Tai and a little umbrella while the world burns. They're going to be kicking back and looking at all the money, all of the Bitcoin they done acquired in the last year of all of the American empire. So I yield.
You go when you watch some old World War II stories on YouTube about what they did to escape and how they was living, and when they got away and all that, what you saying is so remarkable. Them motherfuckers got away, man, with 10 gold bars, flew down to Argentina, bought them a little village somewhere, and just down there living out their life. Next thing, they 80 years old, Esau looking for their ass. Yeah, man, they just go on, and they ain't had to change how they feel or think or their philosophy or nothing. No repercussion, no jail time, no nothing. Just like you said, that shit is crazy. That shit is crazy, and now they gonna fucking try to resurrect that shit. Man, let the Lord come in. They done had their time, man.
That's right.
It's our time now, man. That's
come
why we got to really turn inward to each other. We got to now get on a serious, building ourselves up. You know what I mean? As a people, if you got to come on a whole nother level where we stepping all the way in, where our whole mindset, like damn near, it needs to become a cultural mindset that blacks and Latinos come together for the sole purpose of helping these 12 tribes. Like it got to become a cultural mindset that you go in your kitchen and pull out the old cans of food, cook that food, turn them into plates, and there's a certain set of people in a certain place that is in need of this food, and you making your way over there to feed them. Like we got to be in that mode as a people, and we will strangle them. And if I could, last quick point on it, they leaked them files on them motherfuckers' information, and there's only 4,500 of them. That's less than the amount of cops in New York City. You know what I'm saying? Like that's nothing. Like they running around making so much fucking impact across the country, and there's only 4,500 of them. Like these motherfuckers done went and terrorized the entire nation of Israel with 4,500 people. They done terrorized 60 million people. They done terrorized 60 million people with 4,500 people.
crazy.
Like that shit is crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And so, and he obviously having a problem recruiting. Don't nobody want to get up into that frame. And if he let it turn violence for the sake of martial law, for the sake of him staying in power, recruitment gonna go down. Ain't nobody gonna want to face. Though they acting like they big and Billy Bad, but don't nobody want to face these niggas in Puerto Rico and Hispanics unhindered on your ass. Like you do not want to face that shit. That is the worst fucking thing in the world to do that, because they going to fucking, it'll be insane. They won't give a damn about no cameras, Salaki. They won't give a damn about no cameras. Don't give a damn about no computer software tracking shit, blah, blah, blah. They not gonna give a fuck. They gonna do you just like they do this shit in the street, and they gonna get help. And they gonna be on the right side of history with the shit. You gonna fuck around and have the Lord down with fucking gangbangers. See, that shit gonna be a problem. You know what I mean? So lock it. Yeah, my bad. Go ahead, Cat.
And to add to what you're saying, too.
Nah, Dr. Lock, I think when Shock was trying to say something.
No.
Oh, my bad, nah, Dr. Salaki.
Listen, and just to add to what you're saying too, and what's so ironic is this. Remember when what America was saying about Russia, they were saying that Russia wouldn't just stop at Ukraine.
Yeah.
They will go hit Poland.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But lo and behold, America trying to hit Greenland, trying to hit Venezuela, trying to hit all these countries. And Cuba, they're coming for Cuba. You know, they're coming to Mexico. Like they like America is seeing what they're really going to do. You know what I'm saying? It's almost as, you know what I mean, as I say, like I was thinking like a rule of thumb with them. Whatever they say you doing or they're doing, they're planning it. And they're about to do it. You understand what I'm saying? They call the Donald Trump called the Mexicans rapists. That in the White House, they're a bunch of abusers. You understand
Ain't
what I'm
that
saying?
some
Like,
shit? Ain't that some shit?
Like you calling, you know what I mean, you know what I mean, looking down on oppressed people. You all doing the same thing too. Come on, what's his name? The story we had Bill Clinton, go defend yourself. Hillary, go defend yourself. And Hillary call us some evil name. I forget what she said about we're predators.
Super predators.
Well, go defend yourself from being a super predator on the Epstein file.
It's crazy.
You understand?
Yeah.
Everything they say about you, they're doing. Or they're fitting to do it.
And it coming full circle on them, like you're saying.
Right.
Right back to them. Go ahead, Clash.
I was just gonna make a quick point off of something that Commander Yahanna said that was real heavy. When he said there's only 4,500 ICE agents. You know, you do some math on that and look at the impact they're making. You do let's say there's 45 of the larger cities. That's like 100 men in each city, and look at the impact they're making. You know what I mean? Imagine what we could just do with 100 men in each city. You know what I'm saying? And basically could make an impact that could change the country as like they're doing, as they're terrorizing the country. So it just lets you know that, like how you saying, everything's really fragile. You know what I'm saying? It really don't take. We don't need 50. 10 million brothers to get down to really change the whole spirit or to change the whole. To change everybody the way they see everything. Like you can take 4,500 men. That's 100 men per city, and that's big and small city.
Yeah.
40, and you done. You everywhere now. So it don't take much. For this thing to change and the Lord to flip this whole script. Next thing you know, they looking at ISUPK like. ISUPK is so powerful. They're doing so much. They're scaring everything. They're changing the world and blah blah blah. And it's only 4,500 brothers.
Good. There's a scripture where the Lord said that one would chase 1,000. You know what I'm saying? In Deuteronomy. Like if the Lord with you, you know what I'm saying? Like your enemy want to chase 1,000. You know what I'm saying? So for every 1,000, they'll be afraid of one man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's when your power with you. That's how it would be in that times.
And how we say I've reserved 7,000 men who would not bow to Anita Baal.
Yeah.
I'll say 4,500 men done, and this is 4,500 men that ain't operate as one in one place. It's
right.
Men spread out. So imagine how as the Lord said, 7,000 men who ain't bow to Baal. Like really, you serve the Lord on the right hand side. Do a whole lot with a little. A whole lot with a little.
Yeah.
And just after what you were saying too, and on the right hand side with us, you know what I mean? That's 100%. These 4,500 men, they have the government and the media behind them, pushing them, which making them look like more than 40, like 100,000 men they have. You understand? Like that media, boy, in the kingdom, we had to do a study on that media, because that media, will make you think that what's going on with these ICE agents, like they the victims of what's going on. You turn on Fox News is painting these ICE agents as victims to the public.
Imagine that.
So now, now, it ain't just 4,500 they're dealing with. It's 45 in the government and the media.
Yeah.
You understand? But brothers and sisters in here, what we doing, that shit is, of the Lord. Amplified. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking crazy.
Because they're doing it with Iran right now. They're making it look like it's something, big.
Yeah.
And Iran been dealing with stuff like this because you've been putting the people under siege.
That's them. That's the CIA classic regime change. That's this is one of their classic tactics where they send them in, man, long ahead. They probably was in before they was bombing before they went in with and bombed them nuclear sites. They been went in there and been doing psychological warfare on them people. Man, for the longest, getting their head ready. And now they must have just been told, man, we get ready to go up in there, man, go on, stir them people up, turn that shit into a battle, and we gonna come on and get up in there with y'all. So I don't got a lot of confidence they gonna hold. You know what I mean? Especially if they take Cuba out first. If they take Cuba out, that means even a country with nuclear weapons is not safe from the tyrannical hands of Donald Trump.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That means even a nuclear power ain't safe. So, and now, he could just be talking shit, but he ain't bluffed it. I ain't think he was gonna go in Venezuela. But them special forces and them people in DARPA with special projects and shit, they all told him, man, let's go on and just wipe out all these fucking dark nations. We got all kind of tricks in the arsenal. Let's go on and use them. You know what I mean? They don't know too though that they also waking up these nations and waking up these tribes to all the evil that they doing. You could best believe there's about 50 countries right now working on whatever that technology they said they had that made them soldiers be stunned and not able to fight.
Wow.
Whatever that shit was, you could believe there's 50 countries right now in the laboratory saying, how the fuck do we make that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or at least how do we counter that? You know what I'm saying? So even as they bringing out these weapons and technologies and doing all this dastardly stuff, they also educating the nations that we cannot trust you whether friend or foe. There ain't nobody trusting Russia no more. Russia turn around and say that they got your back. Everybody gonna know what we on our own. China don't invade no country, so if Russia don't back you up, you just fucked. You know what I'm saying? And if that's the case, America gonna know about it which means you doubly fucked. You know what I mean? Because now you got somebody in the White House that all they know how to do is snort up everything up their nose that smell good. God knows how much drugs was going on back then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you got y'all look at the motherfucker in the White House at 78. You know what I mean? This is a motherfucker that been a playboy, getting high and all that. Now he running the whole damn nation, damn near the world. You know what I'm saying? And you expecting him to be level-headed and clear-minded. Fuck, you know what I mean? Like this is a beautiful place to be in. And what's the most amazing, in my opinion, what's the most amazing about all of this is if you a person that has woken up to the truth and you know exactly what's going on. You done woke up to in this truth, and what you need to look at is the house asleep the rest of your people are. Just know and understand that if the Lord had not come for you, that you would still be asleep trying to take Christmas toys back. You understand, to Walmart right now, and arguing over the fact that you didn't get that diamond ring or whatever it is that you were supposed to get, while the rest of the goddamn earth is burning. You know what I'm saying? Like you should thank the Lord for that shit. Because the Lord said clearly, they shall be eating and drinking, and then shall the end come. So, you know what I'm saying? The fact that we see in this long before it happened and we understand it and are not confused by it and not afraid in that we got to hide ourselves and say we don't want to hear the news. Like that is a gift from the Lord that keeps on giving, that should never even be taken lightly or granted. Salaki Ayed.
We could be fully lost in the source, and if I could,
Yeah.
for sure, big up yourself, Commander Yahanna.
Oh, sure. Most time Christ.
48 hours ago, so you told them, be careful. You think something ain't gonna happen, nobody ain't gonna find out who you is, and 2 days later, the whole file leak.
That's right.
Damn.
They're watching. They're supposed to know that, okay, you know, you might not know it gonna happen, but the Lord gonna honor it and make the shit happen.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, man.
They will hold up. He just said
Right.
something. You know that they had a whole investigation on that fool who bet on that black betting website about, you know, Maduro ain't gonna be in Venezuela at the end of the month. I know you heard.
Oh shit.
Somebody had bet that they're gonna take him out and they win $400,000.
Good night.
They bet the Friday and by the Saturday he was out. Now that's
Get
something.
out of here.
Yeah,
They got paid.
They got paid on some betting website they have that where you could bet on anything. You could
Yeah.
you know, it's not
Oh, snap.
like any event, rain falling, earthquake,
Damn.
whatever.
Like Donald Trump need to realize he's not the only greedy Edomite that'll do anything for $1.
Right.
You know, man, there's other Edomites that you give enough money, they'll go put the whole goddamn ICE agent list out.
That's
and
it.
now you in a damn jam.
Yep. Yep. So
You know, man.
if it is they investigate that thing, sir, and they say, well, this person had inside knowledge, then
Forget about
they got to know what you said on Monday was inside knowledge from the Lord.
Most damn right, most Christ.
Right there. They had to be able to weigh the two.
Yeah.
And it's down to like how the Lord moving now is like on the left side, on the right side, he's showing you the mirrored image of it. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's that
Yeah.
in their face now. So after that thing,
True.
everybody who on the fence, all the players and everybody who watching, they're supposed to know, well, hold up. You know, this is something the Most High for sure, the Commander and the Israelite School of UPK, because what we saying is happening, what the general saying is happening.
Yeah.
On the streets doing interviews, going viral, doing everything, saying what's in the people's chest. I think that's the biggest thing. Like these brothers get on that screen and able to say what's inside everybody's hearts and minds. So they resonate so much, and they're doing it in a way that's unprecedented. Even the white supremacists is listening.
Wow.
And taking some of our talking points. So like you so rightfully saying, so like it's no small thing, and it might seem small to us because being around and here for a short space of time, you tend to forget how much people are blinded in the world.
True.
No, they really don't know. They don't understand you tend to really forget because the Lord done put you in a bubble in the truth. But the world are they're panicking, they're scared, battling a tremendous amounts of anxiety. And it's just something you just wouldn't identify with being in the truth because the Lord done insulated you from a whole lot of it. But you'd really be remiss to forget that that's really what's life outside the truth is like. Like there's people who really don't know what's going on. They hear what you say. They're amazed that they think. Meanwhile, that's an everyday conversation on the phone with a brother or sister in here. You just think, well, everybody know it. But you say it, and you just blow somebody away with just, 2 lines. It's like, how you know that? What makes you think like that? And you looking at them like, why you not thinking like that?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Wrong in the truth. It could sometimes you could forget what's outside.
Yes. Yes, you right about that. And if I could just add one little quick tidbit to it, that also too, man, it's like the Lord saying to us, like, go on and hang in there. I know y'all wondering, but hang in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can move anytime I get ready. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't even sweat it. You know what I mean? Like, boop, here you go. Now their names is out here. Boop, here go. Tomorrow it'll be something else. Like that lets us know the Most High is in this. That all this is a prophetic event, and at the end of all of it, the Lord always wins. You ain't going to play cards with the Lord and he losing.
Yeah.
You forget about that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You better lay out your hand. You should just throw in your towel, just throw in your chips like they do in poker. They see they got a bad hand, they just fold. You should just fold your hand ahead of time. You trying to play with the power of power. He's going to outplay you. You know what I mean? You're not gonna outplay him. I know Esau with his big ego think I can beat him. But I'm afraid to tell you, you cannot beat him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You should fold while you can. Because he's in the midst and he's gonna do all that. All that is trying to figure out what dimensions people is in, and all that shit don't mean nothing. They had all that back then during the time of Moses. And it did not help Egypt. It did not make that Pharaoh not have to fall down on his knees and cry until he pissed on himself because his firstborn was fucking dead. And not a god in all Egypt could fucking wake him back up.
Right.
Like that shit did. That shit ain't help you with that shit. It's best to fold that fucking hand. I yield, Salakia.
And if I could, sir, real quick, right? One of the things that lets me know this is the truth, and it's like prideful, right? I'm noticing everybody's quiet about what's happening. The Christians are quiet. The Muslims are quiet.
Yes.
We're not afraid of any news. Any news that comes up, we want to know. And that's how you got nothing to be ashamed of.
Right.
Because you're looking for
we listening like,
prophecies.
what happened? What happened? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They trying to fucking hide from this shit.
Right.
You so right. They think they think we bugging out. They think we must be getting high, popping pills or something. Like, why these motherfuckers so lively and all attentive and all this shit? They don't see what's going on.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, we do. You know what I'm saying?
Well, like how the scripture said, these men are drunk, but not with wine. Remember, they would say that about the disciples. They would be like, it's like something, but you know what I mean? Like they're looking at us and like, how could you be so normal when so much shit is falling down?
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Like, no. This is a different ball game, man.
Right.
Man, gonna get worse before it get better, but man, this is the Lord's go-to when it comes to regime change on his part. This is how the Lord regime change right here.
Yeah.
Right.
This shit we watch it right here. This is regime change from the Most High.
That's
right. That's how he do it. You know what I mean? So,
we knocking towards Tuesday. I don't know you want to call it.
Yeah, man. I didn't mean to jump in so late on y'all, man, but I've been up for 2 days, and I came in at night. I said, "Boy, I'm gonna get on that show with Mishak and I woke up, the clock said midnight. I said, well, goddamn. let me try to join in now. So my bad on that, Salakia.
Nah, so
I mean,
you're ripping and running, and definitely appreciate, you know, I mean, getting everything ready for the nation, keep everything pushing forward.
Most High in Christ, like we got to work double time now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. I want to say big shout out to everybody also that just came on and hung with us. You know what I'm saying? Like we got some diehard, real ass Hebrew Israelites in the ISUPK, man, which is such a beautiful, beautiful thing to see, both brothers and sisters, because, you know, we went through some tough times over the last several decades. And in some days it was looking like it was never going to happen. But through the grace and mercy of the Lord and great brothers like this panel we got right here, and so many, many more, you know what I'm saying? The Lord have built something so lively with us and so right with us, you know what I'm saying, that it could be spread on to brothers and sisters. So big shout out to all of y'all that's hung so late with us, man. It's the diehard listeners, man, that really know what it is, you know what I'm saying? That know and understand, you know what I'm saying? They tunes in with us till 2 a.m. because they know that this is, you know, this is that was being spilled come from the Most High. No credit to man, but greatness for the men that are willing to obey the Lord and receive what he had to give us. You know what I'm saying? So thank the Lord for that, and thank y'all all, brothers that's in here on the panel, and the brothers and sisters, you know what I mean, who tune in and hung and love the Most High, love the truth, and can't wait to see the kingdom of heaven and have that kingdom on their mind, man. You know what I mean? We're going to go through some rough ones, but we gonna get there. We're going to get there just like that Bible prophesied. We're going to get there, and it's going to be a glorious day, man. So everybody try to make it out to that Passover, man. Keep the brotherhood and sisterhood spirit up. Keep your eyes open. Keep an eye on our Latino tribes and the nonsense. Watch all the little funny moves they might be making, because those moves a lot of times are born out of fear. Nothing to worry about, but they need help. You know what I mean? Being terrorized by this nation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? Keep praying. Keep them in your prayers, man. Keep them in your morning prayers, your evening prayers. You know what I mean? The Lord is not a power that he can't hear. You know what I'm saying? He's a living power. He gets jealous like anything else. You know what I'm saying? We need to provoke him to jealousy over what's happening to his heritage. You know what I'm saying? Like Daniel prayed to the Lord and said, man, we don't pray because we deserve to get something. We pray because we hope for your mercies. We know your mercies is the greatest. We ain't trying to get nothing from you. We just want your mercy, because that's what's going to deliver us out of the hell that we in. You know what I'm saying? And Christ came with that mercy, man, and said he will return. He will return. And in that day, boy, every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess that he is the Lord. Boy, that's going to be a day. You ain't never seen an Edomite open their eyes more wide than that day. And then in that day, they talking about the aliens. You going to think them Edomites is aliens when they eyeballs start popping out, looking at what the hell is coming down from the sky.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, Rakathaya, how about Shem Yahweh Shai, man? To y'all for having me on. I appreciate it, fam.
So why to you for coming on.
Right.
Don't forget to catch Commander Yahanna every Monday night live right on this channel, 9 p.m. The Real General Yahanna. Pay your tithes, pay your Passover fee, man. ISUPK.com. Go right there, pay your tithes. Jump to the next page, pay your Passover fee, get it in. We'll see you all in April, Israel. Again, to Water for the Journal coming on. Al Wapan, yeah.
Water y'all. What? Salaki.
Barak.
Shalom, Maki. What?
Shalom, sir.
Yeah, don't have messed up, no. Bad news is to beat your home, nigga. Yeah. Go on, get on that ass real quick one time. 144, baby.
They said you get on, you gon' represent. I said, of course. Soon as they crank that beat, I ride that bitch just like a horse. She about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, me whole car. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You even low on this Lord, so that bitch is either or. Yeah, I know them niggas ain't cut like that. I swear I'm to our core. Wait up, let me make a call right quick. I'ma start another war. I was hurting when she left, but I don't care about any part. I need a Vaseline like my Nina Puffer bar. Took a
up. We gon' snatch they soul like Shang-Chi. Put them out of service, keep them tools like it's Harbor Freight. Try to hold me, it's way too late. I'm headed straight to the safe. Throw that one up like a trophy. I'm that nigga, ain't no debate. Told them boys we taking over. Call them up like set the date. This shit a piece of cake. Yeah, my bitches came from Whole Foods. Told them put on that top 3. Then bring me my house shoes. Don't make excuses, make moves. These niggas ungrateful, gotta show them UBK rules. I'm making it like I can't lose. They said you get on, you gon' represent. I said of course. Soon as they crank that beat, I ride that business like a horse. She about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, the whole guard. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get